Falcon?
Hello, hello, hello.
All right, man. You ready to do this?
Yep.
All right. So I did have a pretty sweet
Vinny.
document that could come up with some stuff for us. All right, so just story-wise, let's just say that you went back to Thamior's. You guys know it's tomorrow morning, and you like break apart from the group for a minute, and you say, "I gotta go check something out. I'll meet you guys at the bar." So you know what you're looking for, but where in Waterdeep do you want to kind of go first?
All right. So, real quick, can I have retroactively asked Thamior if he knew of any books related to adapting materials from celestials or fey creatures into armor and equipment?
He says that he doesn't have any, but he'll tell you that there's definitely some in the library.
Okay, does he know about what area that should be in?
In the library?
Yeah.
He says that there's 4 stories to the library, and a lot of the mundane books are on the first floor, but the higher up you go, the more rare and legendary these books are going to be. So he tells you, keep heading up.
So, wait, what floor is it on?
He's most likely the 4th floor.
Okay. How many floors are in the library?
4.
Okay. Oh, dear.
Yeah.
Great.
So it'll be at the top.
Okay. All right, so Xardaar wants to go to the Enclave office and report.
All right. So you go kind of towards the center of the town. Usually you see like a lot of markets, a lot of people kind of setting up. You see a few vendors out in the streets selling things for the Harvest Fest holiday that's about to be coming up. Some of the houses are kind of decorated kind of like it's fall, like imagine there were Thanksgiving decorations, like let's gather, stuff like that. Let's see. And then you finally make it here. Now, in the Enclave, the guild that you're in from your hometown, you kind of know a little bit of the information. All you know about this location of the Enclave is that the leader's name is Roust. Raust.
Okay.
And that's all you know about this location. You walk in, and well, actually, before you walk in, it's like a pretty nice looking building. It's kind of different than the divisions that you've been to, because this one is, in a popular city, so you feel like they have a little bit more money coming in. So it is decorated pretty ornately. It's very clean. It does have a very nice garden in the front of it. Lots of flowers looking nice. There's a big oak tree right in front, and it's big enough that its leaves cover this 2-story building. So it does cover it. Now, when you walk in, you don't see anyone at all. As soon as you walk in, there is like a little, like a secretary's desk to your right, but there's nobody there. But behind it, you do spot kind of like a pigeonhole, like where people stick in letters and mails and stuff, and you see a bird in a cage. Roll an investigation check for me.
I don't know. Gotta grab my deck.
Alright, let me know when you get it.
Alright. Oh, God. I rolled a 0.
You rolled a 0?
Yeah.
Okay. You take a look at this this inbox with all these letters, and you don't see anything. You just go, yeah, letters, whatever. There's just a bunch in there, and you just think it's like not worth checking out because it's probably all spam and bills and whatnot. So you keep walking around, starting to take a look, and you've been you started off by waiting in the waiting room for a little bit, seeing if anyone was going to walk around or greet you or anything like that. And then you start to feel as though there's nobody in this building. What do you do?
I call out.
So you just yell like, "Hello, is there someone there?" And
yeah,
nothing. You don't hear anything. You feel as though this is a new place for you, but you feel as though you have the authority to kind of walk around and investigate if you wanted to, because you are a member.
Mm-hmm.
So you get the feeling that you're here alone.
I task White Fang with staying in the front lobby, keep an eye on the door in case anyone comes in, and I decide to look around.
All right, so on the first floor, it is a tall building, but there's not much to it. There is a grand central staircase that leads up and then kind of tees off the two paths up on the second floor. Behind the staircase, so if you walk around it instead of going up it, you do see a large central office, and it's got a big wooden desk, a few wooden chairs in front of it, and a bigger wooden chair behind it, and you see a wooden plaque on it that just says Roust. And Roust, by the way, is R-A-U-S-T.
All right. Are there any letters or forms sitting on the desk?
You do see a letter on the desk.
Is there a name written on the letter?
It says Xardaar.
I grab the letter.
All right. So you open up the letter and you start reading it. And it has, it's official because it has a wax seal on it with the emblem of the Emerald Enclave. So this is definitely from one of them. And the wax, by the way, it's a forest green wax. So you start opening the letter, and it says, Xardaar, thank you for checking in and letting us know what was going on in Fawnhill. This sounds strange. We're not familiar with this. Please rendezvous with Roust in Waterdeep and await further instruction. And it says, P.S. Not the crafter. There is a smith in Waterdeep that may be able to help you. His name is Al, and he... Oh, damn, I wrote this down. His name is Al, and he is... Fuck. I didn't write it down. Yeah, he's just one of the big smiths in town. He says, the letter says, tell him that you are with the Enclave, and he might be able to help you out. But what you're asking for might be out of his expertise. You'll see. And then it doesn't have like a signature. Like, it's not like somebody signed it. It's just a stamp with the Emerald Enclave symbol.
Okay.
All right.
Is there anything else in the office that sticks out to me?
You see a little like bonsai tree on his desk. You see there's like a grand bookcase behind the desk that kind of spans the entire back wall. There's various weapons kind of throughout the room. And if you leave the office and you explore a little bit more, you notice that there's only one bedroom in this entire building, which for you, as a member of this guild, you know that members are allowed to stay in the guild hall. You find it kind of odd that there's only one room, one bed here. That's about all the important things that you see here.
When I was outside, was the building surrounded by any other buildings, or was it like on its own separate plot?
I'm going to say it's in like a corner lot. It has a few residential kind of houses nearby it. But no shops, no bars or inns. But if you walk around to the back, you see that there's an even bigger garden in the back of this building than there is in the front. And like a few more trees. So where do you want to go to next?
I want to leave a note for Rust saying that I was there and I will return regularly. I will return after I tell him where I'm about to go to this plain library, and that I'll return after I do this.
Okay. So on his desk you find a pen with a quill on it, and you find some parchment, and you start writing that note. Do you just leave it open-faced on his desk, or do you put in like a letter or anything?
I put it in a letter, write his name on it, and I seal it with the emblem of the Enclave.
Nice. All right, so you put it right there. Anything else you want to do in here before you get out?
Like, were the outside walls of this building touching the walls of the surrounding buildings, or was it, like, separated?
I would say it's separated.
Okay.
But you definitely see, like, you know, a lot of buildings are made of, like, different structures, like a little bit of wood, a little bit of metal. This one is definitely handmade, all wood. Like, all the features on the inside are all kind of like the same type of wood, too.
All right, and by getting a whiff of the air, does it smell stale and still, or does it smell like someone's been around recently?
It does smell pretty stale, but with all the flowers that are surrounding the building, you definitely get a whiff of, you know, a bunch of different flowers, like lilies, lavenders, geraniums, hydrangeas. It smells like flowers in here.
So inside the building is drafty.
A little drafty, yeah.
Okay.
There's probably like an open window somewhere.
Is there like an attic space or a basement?
You kind of search around the first floor. There's not really a whole lot on the first floor. There's the office, and then there's just like a few kind of empty rooms that might be serve as closets or temporary office space. You walk upstairs and you see that there's a master bedroom, which is the one and only bedroom here. And opposite on the other side of the staircase, there's more of like a training hall. It seems like you see some mannequins. You see some swords and some arrows and some targets. You don't seem to find any like holes in the ceilings that would lead you to believe that there is an attic. And you didn't find any other doors or entryways or exits that lead to like a downstairs level.
Okay. I will feed the bird, and then I will go to the smith.
All right. There's like some pellets right beside it, and you pop it some. and you start going to the smith. Now, because you're in the center of this town, you're like right in the town square. If you want to, you can definitely like flag down a villager and like ask them where to go.
Yeah, I'll do that.
So you flag down one of them, and they tell you, "Oh yeah, it's in the dock district," which kind of makes sense. A lot of travelers, they come in, and while they're there, they want to get their weapons fixed before they sail off and go somewhere else. So you kind of walk in the direction to the west. You're like a few minutes away from Monty's bar, and you see a building that looks like a little bit of metal. It's one story, and it's very open. It's not like an enclosed building, and as soon as you get in there, it gets hot, right? Because it's a smith, and you see just like a big guy. He's like very tall, very muscular. He's got a full beard, and he's got some reddish brown hair. He says, "I'm Al. Y'all need something fixing? What can I do?"
Xardaar says, "Greetings, Al. I have been referenced here from the Emerald Enclave, hoping you could do some work for me."
"Oh, the Enclave? Yeah, I know those guys. Sometimes I make stuff for that one guy that works there, and he pays me pretty good. What you got in mind?"
Well, I have a unicorn horn and the pelt of a unicorn.
As soon as you
I was
say
wondering if you could make something from it.
his like eyes widen, and he like brings you in closer, and he like shh. He tells you to hush, and he pulls you in, and he's like, "Why do you have pieces of a unicorn? You know those things are holy, right?"
I give him my backstory, tell him what happened, and tell him that's why the Emerald Enclave recruited me.
Because you rescued it, right?
Because it was being controlled by a fiend, and the only way to free it, to save everything, was to kill it.
To kill it. Okay. And he goes, "Yeah, man, I get it. It's weird, but you know, like, killing that thing and then carrying around its parts is kind of bad luck, right?"
The unicorn...
If you're cool with it, I mean, I'm a little superstitious myself, but... So what do you want me to do? You got a hide, you got a horn, and he's brought you, like, into his workspace so that you're not so much outside, so that people can't hear you guys discussing it. And right now, it's just you and him. He's got his smith thing going. He does have a few weapons that it looks like he's working on. He says, "Yeah, so what can I do? What do you want me to do with this?"
Well, I've heard tale that unicorns will offer up their horn to people sometimes. And this one offered me its horn and its pelt. I was wondering if you could help me make armor from its pelt, and hopefully find a way to give White Fang, I gesture to White Fang, a way to use the horn. Like, I'm hoping to find a mage who can reactivate its dormant magic.
Okay, well, I think I can definitely do something with that pelt there. And he holds it up, and it's like, it's kind of glittery. It is very white. And he says, "I can probably make some leather armor here." And I actually found a really cool like animal harvesting thing that I am going to tweak a little bit so it's like you don't get like +5 armor, you know? So he takes the pelt and he's feeling it around, and he's like, yeah, I think I can make something out of this. And I'm not going to tell you what it is yet, because first he's going to make it. He's like, "Yeah, I can make some leather armor out of this." And let's see, I just want to make sure yeah. So you, knowing that it's a unicorn, you know that whatever he makes is going to be magical in some kind of way. But at the bare minimum, it's definitely going to be a type of armor. So he goes, "Yeah, this, give me about, this magical stuff. It's a little fragile. Sometimes it just crumbles in your hand if you're not careful. Give me about 2 days, and I think I can do something with this.
I was wondering if you could also make some sort of padding or armor out of it for Whitefang, because there is a lot of it.
So he looks at Whitefang, and he's like measuring it out. He's like comparing it to the length of him, and he goes, "How about this? I'm gonna focus on you first." And as he's saying this, he's like getting some measurements of your body. He's like, "Man, you're a big guy too. If there's anything left over, I'll work on making some for him. Does that sound good?"
Yeah. Yes.
All right. Now, if there is, if I'm making 2 things, it's gonna cost you a little more. I mean, that's only fair, right?
Yes. And just to let you know, what was the name of that wizard dude?
Thamior.
I mentioned Thamior told me of a magical library. We're going to go there tomorrow, and I was interested in finding some books about adapting pieces of Celestials and Fae to equipment. I could return one with one for you.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not much of a reader. I think I read one book, and it was the alphabet book. Let's see. If you're looking for like a magical type of thing, I mean, I can work with magical things, but I can't make things magical. Let's see. I mean, Thamior, he's the wizard of the town. I would definitely check with him, but I don't know if he's good at making magical things. One thing I do know for sure, in Neverwinter, the town just north of here, I got a brother who works there, and he gestures to his smithing things, and he's like, "I just got fire. That's all I got. I just work with fire and hot stuff and metal." In Neverwinter, they got a magical forge. Because it's not just made with fire, it's made with a fire elemental. So he's got a little bit more skill. He's worked with some dwarves, some magic dwarves who taught us some stuff there. But, the hide I can definitely do. But imbuing things with magic, that's out of my pay grade.
Okay.
And he holds out the horn. He's looking at it. And he's like, at the very least, I could definitely make this into a dagger if you want to hurt some people with it. But, let's see. I mean, that just right off the tip, this is definitely going to be a good dagger. But if you want to turn it into something else, maybe like a little hat for your furry friend here, and he can charge people and tackle him and hurt him, I'll probably do that too.
That is closer to what I was thinking.
Okay. Well, I mean, if you want me to turn it into like a magic, I mean, this thing is magical. No matter what you put it's magical. I can't make it any more magical, but I can definitely make something for your friend here so he can wear it.
Well, I want to reawaken its healing attributes, not so much its offensive capabilities.
Well, how about this? I'll make you something so that it can hold the dagger at least. It'll fit around your friend here, and he like measures his head a little bit. And he goes, "You don't have to use it right now, but at least you'll have a little case for it. How's that sound?"
That sounds good.
All right. So here's how it works. This is a magical thing. It's a very fragile. I need to be extra careful with it. It takes me some more time. And you know what? Normally I make people pay up front, but I'm gonna make you pay me on pickup. And if you don't pay me, then I'll just keep it and I have this cool magical thing that could probably sell to someone else for hire. Does that sound okay?
How much will it cost me?
It's gonna cost you, and he's like measuring it, and I want to make this like fair and reasonable. It's gonna cost you 700 gold pieces.
Ooh. I wish I didn't buy that stuff from
I mean, you're
the
gonna
wizard
go.
then.
You know, like meta wise, you know you're gonna go on an adventure, and like there's gonna be some loot at the end.
Yeah.
I mean, why don't you try to persuade him? Give me a roll. Well, before you roll, first tell me what you would like to say to like lower the price, and then I'll make you roll, because what you say is gonna depend like the number that I want you to roll.
Hold on. All right. I need to get a little bit more. I need to think about this for a bit. Like, is this dude a human?
Yeah, he's a human. He's just like, but he's honestly like almost as tall as you are.
I'm 7.5 feet tall. That's ridiculous.
Okay, let's say he's like 6'7".
Okay. Okay. I'm a young Firbolg and a member of the Ancalagon. I am going to be rising in the ranks. If you help me with this, I will become a loyal customer for you and your brother. And I can give you 40 gold right now to at least hold it until I can pay for this fully. And every time I return to this city, I will come and pay you more until I fully paid off what I owe you.
So you want to do like a payment plan? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, I get it, but like the leader of the Enclave here, he comes and sees me all the time. But if we do a payment plan, I'm not a fan of this. I'll take your 40 gold right now. And I'm just going to hold on to this until you can give me what you owe me. But here's the thing. If you don't give me all the money in 2 months, I'm going to sell this to someone else.
I believe that is fair.
All right. And he sticks his hand out.
I shake his hand.
All right.
And I ask him, when was the last time Roust was there?
Let's see. Roust was in here.
Or when the last time he saw Roust, at least.
Last time he saw Roust. I don't really see him. He is the leader, but he's always kind of traveling, going in and out, taking care of nature. Not a whole lot of nature in the city, so you got to go out to where the nature is. He came in. He wanted me to make him a sword hilt out of this, really nice wood thing that he found. And I did that. That was about, I'm going to say about 3 weeks ago.
When I was at the Enclave office, the place was empty. All that was there was this letter.
Oh, maybe he just, he got there and then he went out. Sometimes they have a little goblin guy that goes in there, just kind of straighten things up. Because sometimes he's gone for like a few weeks at a time. This little goblin, he dusts everything. He feeds the bird. He collects the letters from any other birds that might have gotten in there. But he's like a 9 to 5 type of guy, and he like looks at his clock and it's like almost 6 o'clock. So if you were just there, I think you just missed him.
Okay.
All right, my friend. Pleasure doing business with you.
It was lovely meeting you. I look forward to seeing what you're capable of.
Of course, tell your friends to come by, and if they ever need some work, aluminiums.
Okay, that laugh was out of character, but...
All right, and then you head on out. Anything else you want to do?
Would Xardaar have asked Thalmior, like, if he could reawaken the magic in the horn?
Let's say like you walk back over to Thalmior, just kind of check it out, and so you've made it back. You're talking to Thalmior. It's about 6:30 or so now, and Thalmior is like, "What's that? Reawaken the magic? That's not really how magical items work. Usually they're just always magical, but I can take a look at it if you want."
Okay.
So he starts holding the horn. How long would you say this horn is? Never seen a real unicorn, so I can't compare.
Yeah, I am Googling. I mean, if it's a celestial and it is a large thing, it's got to be at least a foot long.
Okay, so it's about a foot. And he's looking at
And
it.
actually, I'm looking at some paintings of unicorns. Sometimes it's like, sometimes it's bigger, it's longer than their head is.
Oh my god.
So it could be like 2 feet long.
How long do you want it to be?
A foot and a half.
A foot and a half? Okay. So he's holding it, and in his hand, it almost looks like it's a short sword, almost. So let's go back and retcon and say, like, instead of making, like... Well, he said he could make a dagger, but he could also make, like, a short sword out of it if you wanted.
Okay.
He's looking at it, and he's like, well, what kind of magic? I mean, it's a unicorn horn, so you think it's going to hurt, or you think it's going to help people? What do you think?
The unicorn I got it from said that it could heal. And that there was more possibilities with it, but I want the healing ability.
Okay.
Right now.
Here's what I'm going to say. You've had this thing for a while, and maybe you don't always like take it out and look at it. Because it's 6:30 and it's kind of dusk, the sun is going down. He's what Thalmior does is he takes a little, like a letter opener, and he gives himself a little cut on his arm, and he goes, well, let's see if it still works. And then he just stabs himself with the horn. And as he does that, the horn starts to glow white a little bit, and his cut heals. So he goes, yeah, looks magical to me. But now, like I said, it was 6:30 and the sun is going down. And you've been having this conversation with him for a while now. Let's say the sun just went down over the horizon. It is now nighttime, and Thalmior goes, ooh, I think let's turn the lights on before it gets a little too dark in here. And he just like waves his hand like he's casting like a prestidigitation or something, and all the little candles and lanterns in his home just light up. And now that the light is up, give me an investigation, or I take it back. All right, Give me a perception or an arcana check. Either one.
All right, so I got a 16 on perception.
Okay. And now, since you've got this horn, you've never really seen it being used before. Now that you've gotten it, and this is the first time you've seen it being used to do something, it suddenly turns from this bright, clean white that it normally is, and it gets a little darker. Not black, but like a little gray, a little brown. And Thamior is holding it, and he says, "Well, this is very peculiar. I wonder what this means." And he takes his little letter opener, and he cuts himself on a different part of his arm. And he goes, "Well, you don't know anything until you try to experiment a little bit." And then he stabs himself.
I reach out to grab his arm before he stabs himself again.
Oh, what are you doing that for?
For my own mental safety, can you just try touching the wound with the horn?
Sure, whatever you want. So instead of like stabbing it in like a dagger, he like flips it in his hand, and now he's like slowly going towards it. He as he's going towards his wound, as soon as the horn touches his wound, it suddenly just gets bigger and grosser. Like, suddenly. And he's like, "Oh, that's a problem." And he puts the horn down on the table, and he like starts sifting through his just his cabinets and stuff, and he like suddenly drinks a potion, and his wound heals back up. And he goes, "Well, have you ever seen it do anything like this?"
I haven't used it. The unicorn was corrupted by a fiend, but I thought the corruption fled as it died.
Well, maybe there's just a little bit of it left in there. Maybe it kind of, had a little after effect. This is peculiar. Roll me a d20 and just add your intelligence modifier.
I have a -1.
Well, let's see if you can figure this out.
I cannot figure it out. I rolled a 7.
Okay. So you start thinking about it, and you can't connect the dots as to why this is being so weird, and you're like, well, at least we know when it's white it heals, when it's dark it hurts. I mean, you saw that. That's not like an intelligence thing. You just saw that happen.
Yeah, but after this, did the horn get even darker, or did it start to get a bit lighter?
It's kind of stayed the same.
Maybe it needs energy.
Well, usually these things, they have their own kind of innate energy. I don't really know of a way to give it energy unless it. How do you think? Maybe it just took some of my energy. I am famished. How do you suppose we give it energy? You look at White Fang, and White Fang is like kind of whimpering. Like, it's like it senses something bad.
Alright, so I cast Speak with Animals, and I asked White Fang what's bothering him.
Oh, man. What kind of voice is White Fang going to have? Okay.
It's going to be gruff.
The horn. I don't sense anything good from that. I mean, look at it. Does that look right to you?
But it wasn't always like this.
He the hairs on his back stick up and he starts to growl at it. Master, I don't this isn't good. I think we should put that away.
So I asked Thamior if he thinks it's been corrupted or what he thinks.
Well, I mean, I've kind of had my own experience with some magic items. Sometimes they change, or sometimes they have charges, and once you've used all of the charges, sometimes things happen. But sometimes, usually, you know, sometimes that's after 24 hours, or at daybreak or in the morning, something like that. It regains its charges, and then it's all good again. You good?
With what you just said, but my intelligence score is too low to pick up on it.
All right, what do you, Falcon, think this is?
You said the sun went down.
Yes.
And now it got dark.
Yes.
And he said that with daybreak, the charges can come back. I'm thinking that this horn will change between doing damage and healing between day and night.
That's a good what's the word I'm looking for? It's not guess, it's a good inference, maybe? Good observation.
Yeah. Assumption, maybe.
Assumption, yes. That's the word I'm looking for. So you, Falcon, assume that, but Xardaar is still clueless. He's just like, well, at least I can still stab people with it if I needed to.
So Xardaar asked Whitefang, should I let this man observe it, or should I keep
I mean, it trusted you with it. I wouldn't trust it with anybody else. I think you should keep it. You know, worst case scenario, we look at it as soon as the sun comes up and see if it's changed.
Okay. I tell Thamior that I'll take it, but I will keep it wrapped up and secure most of the time now.
All right. Well, if you ever have any more other magical things you want me to take a look at, I love looking at magic things.
Oh, now that you've said that, I actually have contracted a smith to make me some armor out of the pelt from this very unicorn.
Oh, wait. A unicorn. I'm assuming you told him like your backstory, right? So that
he probably would have asked when I showed him the horn.
Like he shut all his shutters on his window. Like, what are you doing with this?
Yeah.
Oh, Al Aluminium. Yeah, I know him. He's a good guy.
Would you like to look at it to see what you think?
Well, you gave him the hide, didn't you?
Yeah, like he said, it should be ready in 2 days. I just have to pay it off when I can. But Al knows Thamior, and if Thamior said, I mentioned he was working on a special project, he might let him look at it.
Yeah, I'd love to take a look at it. I mean, I kind of know a few things about harvesting certain creatures because some of them are good for growing plants. I know unicorn, their hide, their pelt, it usually calms whoever is wearing it. I know that much about it. And I know it's magical, so maybe it'll give you some kind of magical ability.
Thank you.
But that's just off the dome, you know. It depends on how well he crafts it, I guess. You know, those magical things are pretty fickle. Now, here's what I'm going to do. I have like a list of like magical abilities that I'm going to give it. And depending on what you roll is how many of those abilities and like how strong those abilities will be. So here's what you'll do. Roll me 3 d20s. Or d20 3 times. And just tell me the flat number.
D20. Okay. $32.
Oh no, don't add them up. Just like tell me what the individual numbers you rolled were.
All right, 4, 11, and 17.
Okay, cool. All right, and that's going to determine what abilities, or not abilities, but like qualities the hide is going to have. All right.
Like you said before that this would be something that could be improved over time. Could we like increase its AC or something as well later on? Because just having leather armor.
Yeah, I know. So we will like it will get better over time. Just because like I don't want you to be like level 4 and have like +3 magic armor, you know?
Oh yeah, no. It's just in the chat, Curtis said he'd make me some scale armor, and that's got my AC at 16 right now. I don't want to like jump down to just basic leather armor.
Which would bring you down to what, 14?
Probably 14, yeah.
Okay. So I'll make sure that it does have a little something in there for you, because I mean it's not fun like getting hit constantly. You know, definitely get that.
I mean, if not that, like, does it have to be like completely leather armor, or could it just be like the leather parts of scale armor be the unicorn pelt?
Oh, I see what you mean.
Like, because all armor has leather in it, just like keep it together. But like scale, studded stuff like that, it's mostly leather. It's just covered in something.
So you could do one of two things. You could either go back and tell him that you want to work it into some metal armor, and because now he's like adding metal on top of it, the price will go up a little bit. Or you can let him go ahead and make it as like leather armor, and then ask Pi to like put some metal on it to kind of bump it up to the next class over leather armor. And that one would probably be free.
So basically, if I let him make the armor, it'll be just regular leather armor. But if I go to Pi, he could then upgrade it to maybe at least studded, right?
Yeah, he'll make it. Wait a minute. I'm sorry.
Because studded is 1 AC higher than leather.
I said leather, but I really did mean studded leather armor, because that's, you know, better than just regular leather. He's making you studded leather armor. That's what he's going to make you. And I think that'll help you out a little bit if you put it on. Plus, this one will also be, you know, magical. It'll definitely have some stuff going on with it.
Okay, so I'm looking at the armor. It looks like scale would be the next reasonable thing over studded leather.
Yeah. Let's see. Just get a list of it so I can take a look at it too. Let's see. There's light armor, and the best is studded leather, which is your AC, makes your AC 12 plus your dex, right?
Yeah.
And then the next one
Which
up,
puts me at 15.
and then there's hide, which is medium armor, and I'm pretty sure you're proficient in medium armor. Well, it doesn't do anything. It's worn by pelts.
Yeah,
so
it's 12.
Yeah, that doesn't do anything. And then there's a chain shirt, and then there's scale mail.
Chain shirt doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Because it's just chain links. It's not actual.
Yeah.
Held together with leather.
Okay, scale mail. So he'll probably be able to. I think that pie can upgrade it for you, and I think that will be good too, because this is something that Curtis wants to do. So let him make it into studded leather armor, and then you can take it to pie for him to upgrade it. Now, scale mail does give you disadvantage on stealth.
Yeah, like my next feat will get rid of that, so I'm not too worried.
Okay, cool. All right, so does that sound good? You get studded leather, take it to Curtis, he upgrades it.
Yeah.
Awesome, and that'll save you some money too. And Curtis gets to do the thing he wants to do. And then we'll be good. All right, anything else you want to do before you go back to the Salty Seaman for the rest of the night?
Nah, I'll go back to the end.
All right, and we're not gonna like role play this night unless one of the guys want to do that on their own. You go back.
Yeah, it's just.
Let's say you got there pretty early. Who are you gonna try to room with? Because you guys got 2 rooms with 2 beds each.
Probably. I at least want to talk to. I'm definitely gonna talk to Cooler because he wants to do that weird archery practice, and I want to talk to Pi about the armor.
Okay.
So I'll wait till someone returns before I decide.
All right, cool. And we can let all those guys do their individual sessions, and then if we want, we can like do like 2 of you guys and me or something like that.
I mean, it's not going to be like huge role play. It'll just be like telling them what's going on, stuff like that.
Yeah, something short. And we might even be able to do like that thing in the chat if you guys want to do that too. All right, man.
I mean, for the whole archery thing, you know what's going to happen. It's just Xardaar is going to be like blindfolded or something, and Cooler is going to be giving him information on where to fire.
Okay. Like aim left, aim right, stuff like that. All right.
Yeah, basically. Xardaar will know the territory, and Cooler is going to be trying to picture the target in his mind and pass it to Xardaar.
Yeah, I get that. And keep in mind, your like mental abilities are gonna level up with you guys every so often too.
Yeah.
So like the further we go, the better you guys will get at it. All right, man. Anything else? Are you good?
I think that's it.
All right, man. I'll see you.
Oh wait, did Al give did he already have like a harness ready, or did he say like it should be ready in the morning?
Yeah, he would have to
like
make
it's
that.
like something to hold. Okay.
Yeah, it's something he can knock out quick, but like his main priority is like going to be that hide. So he's more concerned with that. So he's going to work on the hide first, and then he'll work on the little head thing for White Fang.
Okay.
All right, man. I'll see you.
All right. See you.
Later.
Hey, bro, what's up?
Hey, what's up, Dylan? How's it going, dude?
Doing pretty good. Give me just a sec here.
Yeah, take your time, man.
There we go. That'll work. Alright, what's good?
Just chilling, man. Want to see what cooler Robert's gonna get to.
Oh, honestly, I don't see him getting up to too much right now because he already got confirmation that he needs to follow these breadcrumbs that have been laid out before him. And right now they're leading to a magical library. So, his train of thought is, that's cool. That sounds like an epic quest. I must be doing something right.
Yeah, right?
Because that's his whole thing. He's all about this epic quest he's on. He doesn't know why he's awesome. He just knows he is.
Man, I'm excited for it. It's a dungeon that I, built everything on my own. Whew.
Oh, that's awesome.
A child of mine.
Well, I hope we don't hurt your kid too bad. But yeah, when he gets to his third Paladin level, he's going to take that Oath of Heroism. Which basically just means, yeah, I totally am on some sort of divine path.
You don't get smites until level 2 Paladin.
Second. Yeah, so next time we level up, I get my smites.
Nice, man. Dude, Paladin is just, such a good class. It really is.
Dude, it is. It can do a little bit of everything.
Yeah, magic, healing, tons of damage, high AC,
And I was looking at the stuff they built into both the heroism. He'll have Guiding Bolt as a Paladin spell, so I won't need it as a Warlock spell anymore. That means I can learn something else over there.
Yeah.
At 9th Paladin level, he knows Haste.
Whew.
Right?
I mean, my plan is to get you guys pretty close to 20.
Well, then he'll be good.
Yeah.
Because I want to get to that point where I'm like, well, do I want another feat, or do I want to always know Conjure Volley? Because that spell is vicious.
Man, I haven't heard of that one. Sounds pretty cool.
It's a 5th level spell. And how this works is you fire a piece of non-magical ammunition from a ranged weapon, or throw a non-magical weapon into the air. So you can shoot an arrow, throw a dart, and choose a point within 40 feet for close range. Hundreds of duplicates of that ammo or weapon fall from above and disappear. Each creature in a 40-foot radius, 20-foot high cylinder centered on that point has to make a dex save. They take 8d8 on a failed save, or half that on a success.
Ouch.
Yeah, and that's a 5th level spell.
It's a 40-foot square, you said?
It's a 40-foot radius, so 80-foot diameter, 20-foot tall cylinder. Oh, sorry, the range is 150 foot.
Dude, you might be able to take out a whole tribe,
Right? If we get Zerg rushed, I can just be like, I'm going to go ahead and throw this dart. But here's the thing. Rangers can cast it too. So Xardaar might get to that point as well. That would be pretty badass.
I mean, dealing 16d8 in one round.
Right? That's not fair.
I might spawn some minions for y'all to do that.
Oh, Conjure Volley. Right? That's if we both end up okay, you guys are being attacked by literally the Battle of 1,000 Hearts.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, man.
Okay.
So, you want to get into it?
Yeah.
All right.
So what's the ruling on Robert Cooler being able to use his chainmail as part of the materials for his splint mail to save a little bit of the money?
I think it should be fine, but let's definitely have that interaction with whoever it is you go to see.
Okay. Okay. Well, I mean, I just need enough materials for I to make the armor, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, so he would be going back to the Salty Seaman,
Yeah.
checking with Monty first.
So, what we know right now is that Xardaar decided to like head off somewhere else. So he broke from the three of you,
Right.
and in between, Thamir was on the east side of the city, and Salty Seaman was on the west.
It's on the west.
Docksar. So on your way back, you're gonna cross paths with kind of the market district where you would find like smiths and stuff like that.
Okay, that works for me.
So you're walking there, and you see a sign that says Blacksmith Al.
Blacksmith Al. Is Al his first name, or is Blacksmith his last name? Does he just have one name, like one of them Beyonce's I heard so much about?
And so guys aren't here, but they're able to hear you think that too.
Right. All right, so obviously Robert's going to go check this out. He's going to go find this Al Blacksmith.
All right, so you're in this kind of like the shop district, you know, that close to the docks, because that's where a lot of sailors and pirates and thugs and stuff, as soon as they want to try and start selling them stuff. So that's
right.
Where the businesses are kind of heavily focused. You see this big standing outside of his building. There's a little bench in front of him that you have to walk around and actually enter his building. He's a big guy. He's like 6'4", 300 pounds. He's not straight muscle, but like, you know, he gets his muscle working all day. He's got
so he's heteroflexible muscle. Got it.
Yeah, he's got like reddish brown hair and like a big beard, and he's like, "How can I help you, stranger?"
Well, I mean, where's the rest of you? First off.
Oh, I keep the rest of me in the back.
Well, that's my fault for asking. Would you happen to be Al Blacksmith?
I am. I'm Blacksmith Al. I got a last name, but don't worry about it right now.
Oh, I thought Blacksmith was your last name. It was like one of them put the family name first situation, sort of like a, you know, Lee Bruce.
Well, you know, it's like Dr. So-and-so. You know, I go first.
All right, that makes sense. Well, I am a sailor cooler, or at least that's what they call me.
I like it. Sailor Cooler, all right.
So I was hoping you could help me out. I'm looking to get a smith friend of mine to make me some splint armor, and I'm looking to get some raw materials for him. I could buy it myself, but he's a very proud fella. So if I were to just go buy it from somebody else, well, I would put some unnecessary stress on a fairly new friendship.
Okay, I get that. You know, nothing wrong with someone trying to own their craft. So you wanna buy something, right? You wanna buy some scales? What was it?
I just want to get the material to make some splint armor.
All right.
I know a fully forged set is going to run me 200, and I know that I would need some chainmail as part of the armor, and I've got chainmail. So I was wondering if I could just buy the rest of it, and that way I don't got to just buy a whole set of armor.
Okay, so you just want to buy something for me and do any work? I think
yeah, like that. Yeah, just give me some materials and I'll get someone else to do the work.
All right, so splint normally costs 200 GP. Chainmail is 75, and there's already chain in there. I think he says, well, you know, if you bring some business my way, I'm really willing to cut you a deal on it. Let's say, if we do the math, it'd be about 125 GP, some gold. Let's call it 100. How about that?
I shake his hand. I'm like, done, sir. I will send any business that does not go to my other smith friend straight to you.
All right, let me go back there and get it. And he
all right, appreciate it.
And like he's so wide that he can't like go through the door straight. He has to like turn sideways and enter a little bit.
That's awesome.
And he comes out and he has it packaged in like a little box so that it's easier to carry. And he drops the box on the bench, and there's a loud thud from landing down there. Dylan, what's your strength?
14.
14? Okay. It says that in order to wear Splint, you need at least 15 strength.
Oh, turds, I didn't notice that.
But to wear chainmail, you need 13 strength. And you would have disadvantage on stealth.
Well, I've already got that.
Okay. So up your armor class to 17 plus something else. I'm willing to let you.
Oh, yeah, I see that.
You could hold on to it until you're ready, or we
I think we
could
should do that anyway.
All right.
If that don't work, unless you got another idea.
I don't know. I just noticed that right there. I was gonna say like you can just wear it. I just opened up the player's handbook to check it out. Let's see. Maybe. Oh god. Maybe there's a way that your stats can be boosted up somehow. Wink, wink.
Oh, you're talking about something I might run into in the future, or something we might have already run into.
Maybe. Yeah, honestly, this next dungeon, we'll see.
Very cool.
We'll see. Depends on how creative you are.
Okay.
How perceptive, I guess. Perceptive you are. Yeah.
Well, he's moderately perceptive. He's very charismatic. So if I got to convince something, I got a chance.
True.
I mean, I'll go ahead and get the materials. That way, worst case scenario, when we're ready, we got it.
Yeah.
All right. So I'll go ahead and deduct the money from.
So you guys exchange money. He shakes your hand. He's like, "All right, just so you know, if you're ever looking for my full name, it's Al Lumini."
Oh, you must be from one of them, Great British Isles I done heard about.
It's a family name. It's here, so Blacksmith Al. A little bit easier.
Makes sense. I can't picture a lot of folks around these parts being able to say that thing you said.
I think down the line someone was a half elf or something, and you know how those half elves are, or elves, whatever.
I have an entire lifetime of experience with half elves.
Oh yeah, and he notices your pointy ears. Oh yeah, you get it. I'm sure your name's, Cooler. That's a cool name, but man, you hear a lot of those.
Well, it's a nickname. I was like, my actual name's Robert.
Ah.
Mm-hmm.
Robert. I guess it must be Elvish too.
I mean, it sounds prettier in Elvish, but it doesn't really translate very well to Common.
I don't know. I only speak Common, so I couldn't tell you.
Fair enough.
It's a language of business.
Ain't that the truth? All righty, Mr. Luminescence, thank you for your time. And thank you for these here materials.
Thank you, sir. I'll be here if you ever need any more work done, assuming your friend doesn't get to you first.
I appreciate it. You have a good one, sir.
All right.
All right, so I'm going to basically take that straight back on to the inn, because I ain't lugging that around all day. It's a heavy box.
Yeah, it weighs, I think, 60 pounds, 55 pounds.
Yeah.
You don't want to be carrying that around.
Well, Splint weighs 60 and chainmail weighs 55, so I'm assuming the box for the materials doesn't weigh 60?
Yeah.
Like, let's say maybe 30. Because I only need half of the stuff.
An inconvenient amount.
Right. And before I head back to the Salty Seaman, I do want to find someone who can sell me a components pouch and then just a couple minor spell, because I'm going to start needing those.
Okay.
It's nothing expendable, just some basic stuff.
All right.
And I know a component pouch is like 25.
Yeah. So I think that there's a lot of vendors out, because keep in mind, in about 2 weeks' time is this holiday, this like New Year's Eve / Christmas holiday.
Gotcha.
A few more vendors out trying to sell things. So while you're in this market district, you're like looking around and everyone's trying to haggle you, like, oh, buy this, your friends will love it. And you're just like, I'm not looking for that. So instead, you do see someone who is just like, they've got a little like shelf, and they're just standing by it nonchalantly, like everyone's too busy buying this gear. No one wants my stuff. And you notice that he's got magic components thing there.
Sweet. I'm gonna walk on over there and be like, "Hey there. You don't look too excited like all these other folks."
He like pops up and he's like, "Oh, hey, yeah. I guess yeah, everyone's too busy buying all this other stuff. How can I help you, stranger?"
Well, I was hoping to get myself a component pouch, and then get myself just some basic components.
"Oh, I got just the thing for you, brother." And he goes back there, he rummages through himself, and he pulls out a pouch for you. He's like, "This is what you're looking for, right?"
Looks like it. It's just a regular old pouch designed to hold a little bit of bits and bobs and odds and ends.
All right, he holds one end in his hand up high, and he says, "All right, that's going to be 25 gold pieces."
I'm gonna roll for insight.
Okay.
So, because he's being a little sketchy. Okay. Oh, the page is reloading. That's not helpful. Alright, I got a 16.
So he's not holding it back because he looks like he's going to swindle you. He's holding it back as if he's being protective of it. Like, he doesn't want you to snatch it and run.
Gotcha. Buddy, you seem a little apprehensive there. People been trying to rip you off today?
Well, we're right here next to the docks. Not everyone's a good old sailor that gets off the boat. Sometimes little thugs come out of there and try to take our things and run. So I'm just keeping a watchful eye on you.
Alright, I understand that. So I'll go ahead and I'll pull out the 25 and I'm like, alright, here you go.
Thank you kindly. And he like rummages it back into him, and he drops the pouch on his little table in front of him.
Alright, and I scoop that up. And I now have a component pouch. Yay, I need one.
I got plenty more if you ever need it, brother.
Alright, thank you. You have a good one. And then I rummage in there and make sure it's got like all the basic stuff.
It's all in there, man. I promise. Good.
I'm looking. I'm just looking. I ain't that much worried about it. Because I don't need anything weird. I just need to have access.
There you go.
There we go. I now have a component pouch for the one spell I know that requires components. I mean, technically False Life requires it, but isn't it? It's a Eldritch Invocation cantrip, so I don't need the components.
Yeah. Okay, nice.
All right. So let's see. Pretty much everything else I need to do is I want to go talk to Monty now that I know that my old crew is still out there somewhere.
So you walk back into the bar, and by this time the orcs recognize you, and they don't give you any mind. They just kind of yeah, you're good. Come on in. And there's some people waiting.
Appreciate it, boys.
And they look at you very disdainfully, what? Why does he get to cut? So you walk right on in. You don't see Xardaar because I know where he is right now.
All right.
See Anne, and you don't see Pi. You can assume that they're in there somewhere.
Right.
And you see Monty just leaning over the balcony, just keeping an eye over everything.
All right. I'll wave up at him and I just try and get his attention real quick.
His eye perks up and he's waving you up.
All right, cool. Because I was gonna be like.
He's got some orcs that are guarding, and they look up at him to make sure it's all good, and he gives them a thumbs up, and he's okay, and they wave you through.
All right, appreciate it, boys.
As soon as you get there, he already has an ale waiting for you.
So I grab it. I'm like, "You're a damn good man, Monty.
I'd do anything for an old pal."
Appreciate it." So now that I know for sure that my old crew's still around, I was thinking the Triton's Lament is harbored down in Port Valora. I've been paying this dude to watch it, but I think you might get better use out of it than I could right now.
Your ship? Well, I certainly.
Well, it ain't mine. It's Kronos. But I get the feeling I ain't going to be around the port for too long, and definitely not too often. So I'm thinking it might be better served in your safekeeping. And that way, if he shows up, I mean, he'd trust you with it.
Aye. So tell me, whatever happened to him? It's been a while.
All right, so at this point, I related him the whole story. I'm not talking at all. This is not a Jerry exposition dump situation.
So a bird. That's weird.
Yeah, a raven, and I pull out the little feather, and the feather is my focus for the spells. Oh, that's for me. Thank you. It's the dry rub. Sorry, our food just got here.
Oh, you're good, man. He goes, well, I mean, I'm pretty sure that there's nothing magical going on here, except for the way the magic works is that the ink that you sign actually gets used with a little bit of your blood. So, and you notice on the wall, and it's a very, very dark red of everything that's written down there.
That makes sense.
Whenever someone dies, their blood dries up and the paper falls down. I do know one thing. If they go to another plane, then...
I told them 2 blue cheese, Jack. You'll be fine. Fine, then call them and tell them you want your 1 cup of blue cheese. I'm sure they'll send somebody back for a 79-cent container of blue cheese.
And we didn't get cheese fries.
Didn't get cheese fries. Okay, well then now we can definitely be mad because I paid for cheese fries. We'll handle that in a bit. I'm not giving you the phone. I'm using my phone. Look it up. Yes. Sorry about that.
You're good, man. You can take care of that if you want to real quick.
Nah, it's not a big deal.
Let's see. He says, and he finishes by saying, sometimes when someone travels to another plane, it falls off unexpectedly, which is why we track of all the ones that fall off.
But if theirs hadn't fallen off, then, that doesn't necessarily mean they haven't traveled to another plane. It just means if they did, they didn't travel to one that would cause them to lose their connection with this world, I suppose.
Yes. Those that have fallen off and come back, it went somewhere. They weren't able to describe where they went. They don't even know how they got there. Which is always odd.
Well, I mean, everyone disappeared around Frosthold, and frankly, us getting out there with the wizard was the most anybody knew about Frosthold. You ever hear any tales of people going missing there?
Around Frosthold, actually, I have. There's kind of triangle in the ocean there. And I have heard many a rumor of people disappearing within the triangle's area.
Interesting. Oh my god. So Holt saw we have food, so he just put himself in his high chair and he's just patiently waiting for food.
Aww.
He's a cute kid. He has his moments.
That's all I got. I'm not much of a planeswalker myself.
Neither am I. So the only time I ever shipped it anywhere was when the Ravens sent me back to the mainland with a ship. When I asked her about it, she said she didn't want it.
That makes sense. What would a bird want with a ship?
Right? I mean, I assume she's got no need to be on the water. She can just go over it. Well, heck, she can probably just teleport where she needs to go.
Well, I'm definitely going to send down one of my informants down there, and they're going to take your ship and bring it up here. Or Chrono ship, whatever you want to call it.
I mean, if he's alive, it's still technically his. And then
I go ahead and give him like all the paperwork on it because I would have gotten that out of the
like
out of
the
the captain's
deed.
cabin. Right. Something that says this confers ownership of the Triton's Lament to such and such, and I write his name on it under where I put mine. I'm like, technically it wasn't mine, but I mean, I guess it's technically not yours now.
Aye. I'll definitely hold on to it. Take a look out. Maybe I can figure something out that happened to him. Some clues you might have glossed over.
Hey, if you hear anything, let me know, because I want to know what happened to him.
My friends are missing. I want to know too.
Right? It ain't like they just out on the high seas somewhere, as far as we know.
I mean, true. Maybe your Raven friend transported them somewhere else. Have you ever asked her about it?
I never really thought about it, because shortly after making everyone disappear, she put her magic inside of me, and that was just weeks of agony. So I figured if that was what happened to me and I didn't die, I didn't want to know what happened to the people that I could not see anymore. But now I might just have to ask her.
Well, the sea is a fickle bitch. Maybe they washed up on an island somewhere. They're living their best life.
Could be. Say what?
You're not driving to Wingstopper. Yeah, have just cheese spreads. I'm not driving all the way to Wingstop just for to get cheese spreads. We have cheese in a microwave. Okay. Good. Okay, thank you. I'll be at work. Okay, we're good.
He tells you that down by Mystic Beach there's islands just off of it.
Hold on. Sorry, say that again.
Because off the coast of Mystic Beach there's a set of islands that we used to have a lot of communication with them, but it's been cut off recently.
Huh. I think I've seen some info on those. Hold on. I know I got that over in the journal somewhere.
Oh yeah, the map.
It's a Tempo Mao.
Yeah, the islands of Tempo Mao.
I mean, that's not too far from where Frosthold is, so that kind of makes sense.
3, 4, 5.
We gotta figure out exactly where Frosthold is.
Well, it's a couple of days off of the coast of Aurora, so if we're going by hexes, it could be like 1 or 2 north of Tempo Mao.
Okay.
Here's 10.
Because figure what, 2 hexes is a day's sailing?
Yeah. So he says, that's right near where the triangle is, so maybe just that area has got a little something funky going on there.
Could be. Maybe that's on account of the Great Raven, or maybe she's over there because of it.
Ooh.
You have 11? Awesome. Oh. I don't know how many you have, but there, you have at least 11 now.
Well, that's true. Maybe one day when you go back down there, we can do a little bit of investigation ourselves.
Yeah, it'd be worth a look. See if we can figure it out, and hopefully don't get ourselves poofed somewhere crazy.
Maybe by then we can take the Triton's Lamenting down there.
I just might have a worthy crew by then.
Traveling
Or at the
style.
very least, I might have whipped my boys up into shape.
They look mighty useful, especially with Anne. Anne's got a little bit of experience on the sea as well.
Well, I mean, you grow up on the coast like we did, you got to.
Although I think your robot man, he would just sink straight down.
Well, that's why we would have him strapped to the mast so he don't go nowhere.
He's got a life vest around him, like constant.
Right? Like, what spells do we know that will give him buoyancy?
Someone cast Walk on Water, or Water, something like that.
Yep. Just constantly, all the time, just to be safe.
Yeah.
Have him use his spike soul to grab onto the deck.
There you go. That's good. I like that. I would argue that you don't even have to breathe underwater.
Mm-mm.
I think that's the thing. Yeah.
I mean, I don't think he breathes as is, so.
Yeah.
Or at least not as such. Well, if he's got like fire going inside of him, he would need to stay dry.
True. It might. You might need to dump a bag of rice on him.
All right. So now that we've got that figured out, I'm gonna ask Monty. So, we saw this fella trying to peddle some of that new drug that's coming out of Mistdale called Arcane. How much trouble you had with this? Because last time I was around these parts, it was not that big a thing. It was only in Mistdale.
Well, you know, it's gotten to be such a problem. Because we have the river that kind of connects us, but you gotta work your ship here at the docks. I don't have any authority to actually go in and investigate other people's ships, but I'm working on it. I have seen a lot of people just, you hear explosions go off in the middle of town and you know exactly what it is. Someone messing with that arcane mess and they just blow something up. Especially down here in the dock district. They're unloading it somehow and I can't figure it out. And they're getting it out to the streets and peddling it. And it's not in my bar. I don't want it in my city, but definitely not in my bar.
Well, yeah, you got enough folks in here. Someone that explodes off of that there Arcane, you could lose half of your customers.
You know, we're a family-friendly business. And then he leans over the balcony and he like takes a look out and he takes a dagger and he throws it and he goes, "Tip your waitress."
That's funny. But well, of course you're family friendly. You want folks to go out there and have families so their children can come here and have some alcohol themselves once they come of drinking age or whatever they do to get a drink from here. Because I don't know how it works for all these other races.
You know, Tuesday nights, kids eat free.
And on Wednesday, kids drink free. I remember that. We need to
those at Applebee's too.
Right? I think so. We need to make it so that's like on a poster inside the Salty Sea. But Tuesday, kids eat free. Wednesday, kids drink free.
Yeah. it's like,
but it only works.
Menu.
Right. It only works for like a couple of different races. Like dwarves automatically can drink whenever. Because they're not nourished off breast milk. They're nourished off ale anyway.
Yeah. That's funny.
And then for elves, nobody ever knows how old they are. So like, yeah, sure, whatever. You can have a drink. I ain't trying to figure it out.
Are you underage? No, I'm 114.
Friggin' elves. Like, you sure? Because you look 12. A light 13 at best.
Yeah. That's just how we age, man.
Like, how do I know you're not
asking for like a goblet of wine?
Right. How do I know you're not just a half elf trying to pretend to be a full elf? Like, quick, kill the lights. Wait, no, half elves can see in the dark too. Damn. Man, Sled would have such a hard time.
Oh, and Xardaar said he wanted to room with you later tonight, so you guys can like later on have like a little close eyes mind interaction thing.
That's creepy. I didn't need any of that.
Yeah.
Because all I wanted to do was work on this him hitting targets he can't see, and like I was thinking I got too complicated last time. I'm just gonna put a blindfold on, stand a little bit behind him so I can see him and I can see what I want him to hit, and just send that image to him. That way he knows where it is in relation to him.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he can see in the dark, but I can. So that way I could help him at the very least not have disadvantage on an attack in the dark.
I think all of you guys have dark vision, actually.
Oh, cool.
Which is nice. It'll be convenient.
Right. Oh, it's going to be so convenient until I screw it up later.
Oh,
I
no.
have a plan.
Are you going to cast darkness?
Yes, I am.
Okay, well, that's interesting. Okay.
It's the whole reason I took Devil's Sight as one of my invocations.
Oh, man. I got something brewed in the pot for you guys.
Oh, nice. I'm like, that's why I wanted a long sword. I will cast it on my sword because I can cast it on something I'm carrying. I can't cast it on something that somebody else is carrying or wearing. But it can be something that I am holding. And that way, if I need to dispel the darkness, I can just sheath the sword. You can't really sheath a Morning Star.
Oh, that's cool. I like that. That's nice.
Just cast it on the blade. And now I have a sphere of darkness centered on me.
That only you can see.
Right. And then I just approach an enemy and I have advantage on my attack. And if they're my Hexblade target, crits on 19s. Or if I hit them with True Strike, now I can't do True Strike and Darkness at the same time. Damn. Well, I can still do that when Darkness won't matter.
Man, that's a good combo you came up with.
Right?
Nice.
Like crits on 19s, rolling with advantage in Darkness, and they've got disadvantage to hit.
I like it.
But the trick is not to abuse it so much. Oh, that's adorable. I love it. Why does Falcon get to be Samuel L. Jackson?
Because you're dad.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, you can show Vinny.
Falcon get. Oh, it went black.
Is it? Oh, sorry. Here.
Oh, The Incredibles. Nice.
Uh-huh.
It's off. And I got autoplay on and Karen.
Like, you could have just made him Dicker. Oh, he wanted to be Presto? That's fair. That's fair.
No, they're all kids and everything.
Okay.
Who would you choose, Dicker or Frozen?
I mean, Dicker has the memory wiper, so...
No,
Yeah, I know. I do want to be Samuel L. Jackson. That's awesome.
well, I figured we're being
That's fair.
and they didn't have a wall.
Okay, cool.
All right.
It's like
so,
this thing that wasn't Frozen 2 in a week, so I'm good with it.
Oh, yeah, right.
Look, don't get me wrong, I like it, but...
Ask Monty.
That was pretty much it, because... Again, Robert don't really need too much. He knows where he needs to go next. Like, he's just trying to get himself a little more prepared. He knows he can't do anything with splint armor yet, but he is ready for that fun darkness combo. But I can't abuse it because I only have 2 pack slots. But I get him back on a long rest, which will be nice. I'm sorry, on a short rest, not a long rest. And combine.
Does that also, when you get Paladin spell slots, would those also come back?
I don't think the Paladin slots would, but I think I could use my pack slots to cast Paladin spells like Divine Smite.
Oh, okay, I get you. Okay, cool. Oh, that's smart.
And because they're second level pack slots, my Divine Smites would be second level Divine Smites.
Nice.
That's why I'm thinking if we get close up to 20, I might take another level or 2 in Warlock so I can get to that 3rd level pack slot.
Nice, man. Oh, man, I'm excited.
Like I said, this is a fun combo here. And they both rely heavily on charisma, so that works.
Yeah, I mean, high charisma, man. It's good.
Mm-hmm.
Lets you, talk to people, pretty face. It's super convenient. Especially with your spellcasting.
Right now, I just need to be a little stronger and a little more dex, and I'm good. I don't really got to worry about intelligence. We got smart boys in the party.
True.
And my constitution's 15. I'm probably fine for most things.
Yeah, you'll once you get those Paladin HP rolls.
Yeah, I'm not that worried anymore.
Yeah.
I knew the first couple levels were going to be the hardest because I'm still playing a Paladin with only Warlock HP.
Yeah.
But this is going to be fun. I like this build.
Well, I don't know if I told you guys, whenever I first ran this campaign, I started everyone at level 5.
Mm-hmm.
Immediately after the first session, I bumped them up to 6.
And they were just straight OP.
Yeah, they were just ruining, the combat encounters I planned. That was before I found a CR calculator thing. They were just easy. So now that things I'm playing for you guys, I'm like, whoa, this is too hard for them. I gotta take a guy out.
Well, I mean, that Mana Core one would have been a lot more difficult if we didn't have those calm emotion scrolls.
And I rolled poorly for every single one of those rolls.
Yep.
I think one of them I rolled like a nat 1. And it was just like, yeah. What can I do?
Right? That one should have just gone to sleep.
Yeah, honestly.
Like, how calm is he? He's taking a nap.
Yeah. Alright, so, you, like, finished the rest of your ale with, Monty, and I imagine, you still have your box, or you gave it to one of the orcs, or you're gonna go back down and, like, place it in the room he told you?
Yeah, I'm gonna just put it in my room.
Okay. And then, we don't know where the rest of the guys are, but what do you do for the rest of the night?
Honestly, I'm probably just chilling at the bar, not getting drunk, but I'm charismatic. I'm trying to make friends.
You're, like, on your sending stone, like, swiping through Instagram.
Exactly. Just, if I see someone who looks like they've got a good story, I'm buying them a drink and trying to hear that story.
Nice.
Because I'm a sailor, I need all the connections I can get.
Sure.
Who knows when we end up.
Yeah, you probably meet, like, a few other, like, sea folk.
Mm-hmm.
Change some stories. Monty's, like, down there. He tells a story of how, before his first adventure, when he was just a cook on a ship, they fought a kraken and killed it. Roll an insight check. And he's like pointing to like a scar on his shoulder that's like, oh, that's from the kraken. It could be.
All right, let's see what I got. I got a 13.
Okay. You totally believe him. You're like this story. It's like, oh yeah, I've heard this so many times. Like, he tells it like once a week.
Right. Yeah, I figured that was gonna be a high roll to call bullshit.
I mean, is it bullshit?
I don't know. I didn't roll high enough.
Yeah.
Like, as far as I know, yeah, he's telling the truth.
Yeah.
Like the story sounds like all the other times I've heard it.
He's got like way too many really specific details going on in there.
Right. But that's the thing. If it's too specific, sometimes that's a tell.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, I guess I'll see you Sunday then.
Probably, yeah. Oh,
And,
Danny, cleaning up the kitchen? All right, cool. Thanks, buddy.
And if Curtis, I'm open whenever. I guess it's up to Curtis whenever he's done. But,
right.
Yeah, we'll just see.
Well, Jen works nights Monday through Friday, so it's pretty much weekends for me unless she's home for whatever reason.
Only Saturday and Sunday. Gotcha. All right, man. Well, I'll see you later.
All right, cool, bro. All right. Thank you, Vinny. Have a good one.
You too, man. Later.
Hey, what's up, man?
Nothing much. Hang on, let me change my camera. Here we go.
Oh, that's
all right. Cool.
Angle. Are you standing? I can't tell.
No, I'm sitting.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got my laptop down here because I'm doing some cleaning. So
I gotcha.
It's two different cameras looking all over.
How's it going, man?
It's going. I thought I had fixed something, so I was like, oh, I'm done for the day. And I just went and looked, and it's not done. So I'll probably have to loop back on that and figure out what's going on. But, oh well. Anyway. How's it going with you, man?
Just chilling, man. Schoolwork during the day and same old. It's like my job has become to just reply to emails.
Oh, really?
That's it, yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
But I had to
do you just assign stuff to students on some kind of like web portal and then grade it when it's done?
Yeah, just like Google Classroom. It's all in there. All their assignments are on Google Forms. It's like literally click a link.
Okay.
But it's that easy.
Yeah. And do you have to do anything for like video classroom, like on Zoom or anything?
Not really. Like I've been like recording like a screencast of my lessons and going through it, and then watch this video if you're confused.
Right.
That's it.
Okay. And it's basically the same if you have multiple classes, so you can just do it once and you're good.
Yeah, that's how I'm lucky to do that. Whew.
Yeah.
Lucked out. All right, man. Let's see what Anne's up to.
All right.
So, what did you have in mind for this sesh?
I forgot where we were at. So let's see. We had just finished up. Oh man, I don't remember.
I can tell you. You guys got back from the Coliseum, and Thamior told you that he doesn't know anything about this plant. So he told you where you can get information. He told you it's from a library in the Thin Space that is gonna reappear tomorrow morning.
That's right.
So you guys have the rest of the afternoon and the night to kind of do whatever. And basically, you guys said whatever we split off and do, we're gonna meet back at the inn and go to sleep. So I don't know if there was like any specific thing you wanted to go and check out. And by the way, I read up on Xanathar, so I'm like a little more familiar with what's going on there.
Yeah, and so I had one player in a campaign that I was a player in before. His goal was he wanted to defeat Xanathar and become like King of the Thieves or something like that. Going like extremely angsty anime with his character. And then Nelson, his character, was actually associated to Xanathar through his grandmother. She she worked under Xanathar, and then she eventually killed Xanathar. So she's kind of a badass, but yeah, he's kind of like this, central point in a lot of D&D lore. So I definitely wanted to like kind of pull him in as, maybe just kind of a background character or some kind of like, constant looming threat that may not necessarily have anything to do with what we're doing, but it's like, oh yeah, that one time he screwed over Xanathar.
Yeah, I got a good idea for how I can fit him in.
Okay. But yeah, so I think what I wanted to do, so we had just finished up, I should have wrote it down because I was thinking about something at the time and I cannot pull it out of my head.
Well, you guys left Thamior's, and based on what I did with Dylan and Falcon like immediately like split off.
Okay.
And Dylan assumed that you guys were heading back to Monty's, and he wanted to see like a blacksmith or something. And I said that was on the way, so he didn't split off until later.
Okay. Yeah, I was wanting to go speak with Monty for something, but I cannot remember what it was. So we went, and so should we assume that we're going to do the thing with Monty together and just hold off on that?
No, because based on if you're going straight to the bar, that gives you some like alone time with him.
Okay.
Dylan did come back later and also have some alone time with Monty, but so far in the order of like who's gotten to the bar first, I don't know what Curtis wants to do. I'm assuming he's probably gonna go. No, he wanted to like go to a church, so I'm assuming he's split off as well. So I think that you would be the first one to get to the bar, and then Falcon would have been the last one to get to the bar, and between you and him would be Pi and Robert.
Okay. Oh, I remember what it was. That that memory that I stole. That's what I wanted to do.
Yeah, okay. So you wanted to check it out.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you stole that memory, your mindmonger mitts, they're normally like a dark, kind of dark brown, almost black color. You notice that on the index finger on the inside, it started to turn a little white, like a dirty white. So that's like how you know, like, oh, there's something trapped in there.
Okay. Hmm. Would just my knowledge of Arcana help me like figure this out? Whether it's you know, me putting the finger to my head, like to my temple in the soft area, or
So that's
you know,
the
anything like
idea that you get, but how do you? So you get the idea that like I should probably like touch this to my head. How do you want to do that?
So I think I'm gonna. I want to go somewhere private, like kind of secluded, so I don't end up getting in trouble. But just in case weird stuff happens, I'm gonna like be in a back alley where nobody can see me.
Okay. So do you want to go?
There's not a concept of a lock in this,
a concept of a what?
like a flintlock.
I don't know what that is.
That's like the original version of a gun, where it was basically just like you shove a bunch of gunpowder in and a bunch of like rocks or something, and then it was like a mini.
I'm gonna say that because I'm like doing some weird stuff with the planes. It's very rare, and since you've like kind of traveled around when you were a sailor, you've like seen a gun before, but just like once.
Okay. So that's kind of gonna be my approach. Then I'm gonna like do this and treat it as if it's like loaded with a memory in it, and then pull the trigger.
Awesome, I love it. So you do like a memory blast. All right. And where do you go? You said you were in like an alleyway.
Yeah, so I'm back in an alleyway just in case I don't know what this is going to do to me, if I'm going to be like unconscious for a little bit, and I don't want to be out in the middle of the street when this happens if something does.
Okay. So because Diamond Dew is going to be like an NPC, like a central one, I've come up with some memories for him. So roll a d10 for me.
Okay. Let me write this down. How do you spell his name again?
Diamond, and then Dew. D-E-W. All
Two
one word.
Ds.
Yep, 2 Ds.
All right. DS. Seven.
All right. So with the 7, you see a memory of Diamond Dew, and you're kind of not looking at it through his perspective. It's weird. It's like you're almost standing behind him watching this happen. And he's kneeling down praying, and his voice is a little higher pitched, so you get the idea that he was younger.
Okay.
Not the same age that he is now. And he looked as though he was in his mid to late 20s. So you're imagining, this must have been in his teens. And and he is praying, and he says, "Syrian, please protect me." He starts giving reciting like a prayer that everyone kind of says before he breaks off into something a little more personal. And then you hear a voice, and because this is his memory and you're experiencing it, you're also hearing it as if it's in your head. You don't see any figures in the room around you, and the voice says, "What do you want, my child?" And you see his shoulders kind of stiffen up, and he's looking around the room, and he says, is this Syrian?" And he says, "Yes, you're one of my servants." And he goes, "Yes, Lord, I aim to serve you." I just want some protection, please. All the other boys, they pick on me, and I can't do anything to stop them. And he says, then you will be granted with my power. And then you see some unlit candles in the room, and they don't just light up, but the fire just gets so crazy big. And then he turns his head around to look around the room, which kind of shifts your perspective. It's like you don't know what your own face looks like, you know?
Okay.
So it's
That
like
makes sense.
when he turns his head, it changes the way you're looking at it.
Right.
And this fire is getting kind of hot and out of control. And then you hear the voice say that you'll obey me. Yes, I will. And then the fires just kind of slowly start to dissipate a little bit and get smaller and smaller to a normal candle's normal candle fire. Yeah.
Okay.
And then he gets back down and he just starts praying again. And then and this happened as soon as you like pull the trigger, and then it fades to white, and then you open your eyes, and then you're back in that alleyway. And,
Okay.
And it's almost as if give me a perception check.
All right. Cleared out my dice beforehand. I'm sure you can hear tons of dice rolling all over.
ASMR.
All right. Today I'm rolling a d20. Let's see. What is my perception? +2. That is a 15.
Okay. So before you kind of pulled the trigger, you saw a bird flying overhead, and when you came out, the bird was just like a few feet in front of where it was flying. So to you, it's like only maybe a second passed by.
Nice.
Yeah.
Dang, that's pretty cool.
It's a good choice memory.
Oh, yeah. Shoot. Now I'm starting to wonder if, like, I could shoot these memories into other people, not just myself.
Oh.
That would be interesting.
So
We'll see.
You look back at your finger, and the mitt, where the part of your finger on the glove is, it was kind of this white, and then it slowly turns back into like this dark brown. And you get the idea that like this memory has faded.
Okay.
That's cool. I mean, if you do it that way, shoot it into other people.
Be interesting. It's worth a shot. I don't know if it'll work. I'll probably try that the next time I steal a memory. But cool. So yeah. After that, I'm going to. So we want to find out about this thin space. That's going to be our next step. And it's going to be in the library. I think with Anne's wisdom or his intelligence, I think he would probably think like library, thin space is probably a bad place. I'm gonna buy some stuff to help out there. So what kind of shops are in town here?
So the shops are kind of in the middle and slash kind of in the west part of the town, a little closer to the docks, because that's where a lot of the people come into town are from. So there's a lot of people setting up just kind of like holiday themed kind of gift shops. Like in about 2 weeks time, it's going to be this harvest fest where it's kind of like the beginning of the new year slash like a Christmas type of, it's like a starting the new year off right, so people give each other holidays, and you guys would all be familiar with this. So there's a lot of people just selling like crappy like holiday themed gifts. You still see like the regular blacksmith and item shop. I want to say at this point, well, you went and did that. I'm going to say Robert, Dylan's character, might have already left the market. So I think you might have just missed him on your way to the market and his way on the way to back to the bar.
Okay.
So you do see a guy who he seems a stall, and he seems to have a few items, potions. he's not just selling weapons, but like a good mix of things.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I'll go up to him since his shop seems to have caught my eye. And, first thing I'm going to do is buy some health potions because we have, like, none of those.
So the health potions, I think I put a price on those in the item shop thing. Yeah, there we go. And I'm going to try to use only gold, so I don't have to deal with the math. Alright, a potion of healing, 2d4 plus 2 is 100 gold. Potion of greater healing, 4d4 plus 4 is 200.
So, potion of healing, it was how much? 50 gold?
100. But maybe you'll be able to... I mean, let's have this interaction. So you walk up to this guy.
Okay.
And he's like a tall, skinny guy, just kind of like bummed out. Like imagine like a teenager bored that he has to be at work. He's like,
okay.
Oh, hey, do you need something, friend?
Yeah, I'm gonna say, I'm just looking for some potions of healings.
Oh, well, you came to the right spot. I just sold a guy a, God dang it, what do you call that? A magical components pouch. I definitely got some of those.
Oh, all right. Well, look here, I don't have a whole lot on me, so I gotta make do with what I got. I've got about 60 gold on me. Is there any way I could get a potion with that?
He turns around and he like scratches his head and
when I see him kind of thinking about it, I'm like, come on, man, I'm down on my luck. I just, I need this for, my kid.
You need a potion of healing for your kid? Is he hurt?
Yeah, he, you know how things are in the poor district, and he got injured the other day and hasn't been able to recover. We're living out on the street. So this is everything I've been able to scrape up from begging.
Oh, I get it, man. Yeah, I used to be down there too before my mom remarried. You know what? It's a holiday. I mean, this is an hourly job. I don't give a fuck. So, give me a persuasion check.
Should it be deception since I'm lying?
Yeah, I'm cool with that. I'll let you do either one.
They're the same. I just wasn't sure.
Yeah.
Let's see. All right, 16 plus 4 is 20.
Okay,
dirty
like,
20.
You know what, man? I'm gonna let you save your money. It'll be 50 gold.
I appreciate it, man. So I give him 50 gold, and I add me a potion of health.
Potion of healing. Yep, 2d4 plus 2.
All right. Nice. No, I've kind of burned the bridge there, so if I wanted to buy anything else, I probably couldn't. But was there anything else there that kind of stood out to me?
In his shop?
Yeah.
He's got like some figurines. There's a lot of like fall decor. Like leaves, pumpkins, cornucopias. You see some masks for the Lords of Waterdeep, but they're strictly just decoration.
Right. So are they ones that people would like wear as kind of like part of the holidays or to a festival as kind of a costume?
I feel like it's a Waterdeep like specific thing. Like, on New Year's, people wear like the 2020 glasses.
Yeah.
And Waterdeep specifically, they wear that.
Okay. So yeah, as I walk away, before I do that, is there any other shops in the area that I can check out that may have more of like adventuring gear and
Yeah.
utility stuff?
Yes, absolutely. Because there's just so many people out selling things right now, you definitely see like an adventuring gear thing.
Okay. Let me pull up that real quick.
Yeah, I just want to see if I can like find that in the PHB real quick. Adventuring gear. So like starting equipment type of thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Page 148. Okay, cool. I got a nice chart.
Let's see. I'm gonna try and find it in D&D Beyond.
Anything specific? An abacus is 2 GP.
Hey, all right. Here we go.
Damn. Shit, a magnifying glass is 100.
Ooh, Alchemist Fire. Okay, we got that. I might get some of that. That might be helpful. I've already got ball bearings. I just don't have anything to use them on yet. Barrel, basket, bedroll. Caltrops. Ugh, those are the worst.
Bag of 20. You know, I'm surprised Monty hasn't, like, maybe he has those and he just can't read what's in that bag, so he just, like, never looks at it.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. Anything else that stands out?
Is your internet still on? The TV is like completely off.
Oh, I had to reconnect earlier. Just go back through, like, the settings and it's still not on. Alright, I'll come take a look at it in a minute.
Internet's gone out?
Yeah. Yeah. It did it to me earlier, but I just, like, reconnected.
Okay, let's see. Get an oil, parchment. Yeah, I'm just trying to run through all this, make sure there's nothing that stands out to me.
So you really did have more money. You just straight up lied to that guy?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Nice.
Because I figure, I'll tug on his heartstrings a little bit and get him to give me a discount that way.
It's like there's nothing less willing to work than like a teenager.
Yeah. Why is a spyglass so expensive? Holy shit.
No, man, like 1,000?
Like, it seems like such an important thing for nautical, anything nautical. I don't know if we're going to do anything nautical, but, God, it's so expensive for something so important.
Yeah, right?
Let's see. I'm going to buy, I think I have dark vision, so I don't need a lantern. I'm gonna go ahead and get definitely getting some caltrops. Let me see. I'm gonna write it down just so I know what I'm getting.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna create a character for this unless you want me to. But we can just say like you're like traveling through like all these different stalls and like buying this off of different people.
Yeah, for a lot of this stuff, it's so cheap that it's like, it's not really worth trying to haggle or steal. So
yeah,
I'm gonna get some caltrops. What is it? Oh, a barrel. Acid is 25. I might get some acid, but damn.
I don't know, man. That abacus 2 GP.
Ooh, I'm gonna get some chalk. Go to the chalk zone. Fishing tackle, grappling hook. I'm gonna get a grappling hook.
I mean, you're loading up.
Yeah, buddy. Because I know most of them aren't going to try to do a lot of this. So I'm going to go ahead and stock up on stuff that I think we might end up using. I'm going to get a hunting trap just in case we need to feed ourselves, or we can use it like to catch something, some kind of animal that we're hunting.
Okay.
I don't think I'm going to get manacles. That would be cool if I was Robert, but I don't see it being useful for my character.
What's a manacle? Is that like a
yeah. If I was if I was more of like a lawful character, that would definitely be down my alley. I'm gonna go ahead and get I'm gonna get 10 flasks of oil since that's 1 gold.
Okay.
Anything else? I don't know if we're going to be climbing a whole lot, so pittons might be useful. Yeah, I'll just pick up a couple of those.
I mean, better to have it or not need it.
And let's see. Poison is so expensive.
That's wild.
Rope, hempen. I think I have rope already. I don't know what the difference between hempen and silk rope is. Merchant scale, sealing wax. I don't know if there. Yeah, I don't think 5th edition has any kind of like forgery skill. I remember 3.5 did.
Oh wait, yeah, it did. Yeah, if you're the God, what's that background? A charlatan.
Okay. There's a forger's kit.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's not gonna be helpful then. I was looking at that one thing. How what would spellbook be good for? Because even though I know magic, I don't know, like just reading a spellbook, I don't think it necessarily like gives me the ability to learn an extra spell or anything. And it's super cheap.
I know how it works for wizards, although I don't know how it would work for like people that aren't wizards.
What do you end up doing for a wizard?
Because like I think the way it's supposed to be, you can only copy so many spells into your spell book. But if you find like a spell book that has other spells in it, like if you're an evocation wizard, you may not learn too many necromancy spells. But like you find like a necromancer spell book, you can now cast those spells.
Okay. Nice.
And like you can copy the spells from that book into yours if it's not like in your spell list.
Okay.
Something like that.
Yeah, with Arcane Trickster, like I just have a certain number of spells that I can learn, and that's once I learn them, I know them, and that's it. I can't trade them out or anything like that. So you definitely have to pick well at the very beginning.
I feel like Gus was definitely a good choice.
Yeah. So, okay. Last thing I want to get is some Alchemist Fire. Seeing as it is a bit more expensive, this is one that I'm going to want to haggle for. So I'm going to try and find some kind of like alchemist shop or some kind of apothecary where they're going to have some of the weird stuff.
Okay. You see a tiny little gnome, and he's got just like a ton of potions. And the way they're all labeled, some have like a label with a skull on it. Some have a label with fire on it. And the bottle's a little more red tinted than the others. He goes, "Are you looking for something?"
Well, I was looking for some alchemist fire. You got any of that?
Oh yeah, all these bottles right here. And he points to just like a row of bottles. He's got a ton. I got a 2-for-1 special.
All right. Well, let's see. How much are you selling them for?
You can get 2 for 50 gold.
2 for 50. Well, that ain't bad at all. What do you say if I get 6? Would you do 100?
No, that's 150.
Come on, man. You know, I can work with you a little bit on that, but 150 is a little high for me.
Well, buy less.
I mean, you know, I could come up to 115.
He looks at like all of the other stuff that you've been buying around, and he goes, I don't know, you've been buying a lot of stuff. Why should I give you a deal?
What's that?
Why should I give you a deal?
Well, I'm heading out, man. I got a big adventure coming up. You know, we gotta go protect the city. So I'm trying to stock up on things that we're gonna need.
Protect the city from what?
Well, you know, you never know. We're taking on a job from Thamior down the road. He asked us to help out, so we're gonna go take on a little bit of riffraff, and you know, this seems like, you know, we're probably gonna be in for a rough one. So I figured I'd go ahead and stock up on some of the good stuff.
I know Thamior. He gives me things for my potions. Let's make it. Can you do 125?
Yeah, I can do 125. I appreciate it, man.
Tell Thamior I said hi.
No problem. All right, so 6 for 125. Damn.
Yeah, Dylan spent all his money on chainmail, and he doesn't have high enough strength to wear it.
Oh no.
Yeah, I looked at him like, is your strength 15? No, it's 13. I'm like, I don't think you can wear this, man.
Oh shit. That sucks. Oh, that's hilarious.
Yep.
Oh man. And so I do want to stop by. I want to see if there's like any magical blacksmiths or like blacksmiths that specialize in magic weapons or magic items, mainly just to get kind of pricing on something and see how rare this kind of object is if I were to seek it out.
Okay. So, while you're around, you've been like asking people like, you know, where's a good blacksmith or like a magic blacksmith or something like that. And everyone kind of tells you the best blacksmith in town is Al. And Al is kind of just north of the dock district, still within the ring that the markets are in. But he definitely tries to sell more to the sailors that are coming in, because that's, you know, they need weapons and stuff more than like the common folk. So he's a little closer to that. So let's see. He tells you that you go in there, and he's got like a big room behind him. In front of him is like a working table, and he says, "Hey, what's up, buddy? What can I get for you?" And he's huge, by the way. He's like 6'6", very muscular, but like not like a tone muscular. Like his working out every day is his job.
Right.
He's got like a big reddish brown, bushy beard. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm going to say, well, I was coming in, so I hear you're pretty good with magic weapons and the lack, so I'll go ahead and just explain my problem to you and see, you know, what kind of solution you may have to offer and kind of what I had in mind for it. So basically, you know, I do more of kind of like a roguish fighting style. You know, I usually use daggers and such, and I certainly prefer the shorter weapons like that. And I would ideally like to be able to dual wield in the future, you know, have two different weapons at one time. Okay. My problem comes in with the fact that I'm also a spellcaster. So I tend to, fire off a spell here and there. And this is problematic for me because, if I want to cast a spell, I can only be carrying one weapon. And so I was looking to see if you had some kind of weapon that would allow me to cast my spells through it.
Okay, so you want to like make something a focus. Is that what you want to do?
Essentially, yeah.
Okay. And he points to he leads you around back into his back wall, and he's got like a row of daggers, and these are normal daggers, but on the hilt of all of them are just like like different colored stones, like green, red, yellow, all of them. And he says, these here, they're a little magical. Not the daggers themselves, these stones. So they kind of let you cast some magic through it. If it gets knocked out, though, and these are a little fragile, then you won't be able to do that. Now, these don't come cheap. I got to get these from some dwarves. You know how dwarves are.
Oh, yeah.
So these are a little expensive. They're going to run you about 200 gold. I'm firm on that, buddy.
Oh, man, you're breaking my heart. Huh. Now, does the color mean anything? So if I were to have a red gem, does that change anything about the weapon?
Nah, it's just color.
Okay. And is there any other any other sets that may be a little more expensive but provide greater benefits?
He points to he's like you mean some like actual magic weapons?
Well, yeah.
Just give me 1 second, Rob. I'll be right back.
All right, buddy.
All right, man. I'm back.
All right.
All right. Sorry about that. I was having just problems with the TV out there.
Oh, you're good. Yeah, starting to look up to see if there were any good deities for Andus worship, because, yeah, we'll see, but, Syrian, clearly, there's something going on there.
Yeah.
So that's not the right one. I like joking about him worshiping Syrian just because it's like, yeah, tip the scales in your favor, but it's never serious. And then the other two gods, Martin and Martin's lawful, so that's not gonna work. And then,
and you're not a dwarf.
Yeah, and then the Raven Queen, I think it is, or
yeah, I mean Raquel.
I don't remember. Raquel.
That's
right, because I was calling her Rachel.
Mm-hmm.
So Raquel doesn't really fit either. It does, but I don't know. I've already kind of like set a precedence that he's not gonna mesh well with Raquel. So I don't know if that's gonna be the one. It seems like there's a lot of focus on the gods here, and I'm thinking I may want to jump in on that at some point, but we'll see.
Okay.
Anyway, so we were talking, and I asked Beef Boy Al what kind of weapons he had that may have been a little more powerful.
So he like hits a button, and these daggers like move down, and he goes, "This is my secret stash."
Oh, all right.
You get the sense that like this guy is definitely like a good blacksmith, like the quality and how everything looks here, but he doesn't really have like an experience with making things magical. Like he gets these components from dwarves or other places or whatever, and he places them in there carefully to make them magical. So the magic he creates is only as good as the things that he's bought or found around.
Right.
Now, because he says because these are fragile, he's only been able to make daggers out of them.
Okay.
So he's those were just magical components. These are just magical itself. And he sees you see the same thing, that they have like different colored gemstones in them, but these are not just like a clear circular gemstone. These have like a shape to it, like almost like a diamond type of shape.
Okay. Right.
And he says, before I tell you what they do, I gotta tell you, these are gonna run you up a little bit. They're gonna be about 700 each.
Dang. Well, I'm only sitting on about, I'm only sitting on about 400. So, I can't currently purchase it, but I am intrigued.
I'm trying to work my way up to the bigger stuff, but what I found out is I try to put, he points out a redstone, try to put that in a big old longsword, and the whole thing just melted. I just don't think it was too much for it.
Okay.
So I'm still trying to figure it out, but a little at a time.
Well, I assume that you're going to be firm on any prices, but are there what kind of range of magic abilities do these things have? Like say is it basically like, this one gives you extra firepower, you catch your opponents on fire, or what kind of stuff do we got?
I'd say like out of game, it would be like, a dagger does 1d4 slashing or piercing. It would just deal an additional 1d4 of that damage type.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So I say, well, I hope to do business with you soon. I'm going to wait on getting the focus, just because, it takes time for me to cast a spell and to attack. So it's not going to do me any good right now until I get, either a feat or, just get better at some stuff. So at the moment, it's not going to do me a lot of good, but I'm just trying to feel the waters out. So it's cool that there's stuff out there, and I will keep that in mind when we get up to a little bit higher levels.
He tells you, I have a brother that lives in Neverwinter, just north of here. He's see, the problem here is I only got this regular forge, but over in Neverwinter they got and he looks around a little bit. They got a fire elemental down underneath the city, keeps them warm.
Damn!
And that firepower, my brother, he uses it in his forge. I'm not gonna say he's better than me, but he knows how to do some things I don't.
All right. Well, damn, I'll have to go check him out sometime then. I appreciate your time.
Of course, buddy. I mean, if you ever need any kind of work, armor, come to Al.
All right, I will. I appreciate it. So I'm gonna head on without buying anything, but I think the last place I'm gonna check out is Monty's. And I don't think I have any business with him. I don't necessarily have anything that I want to ask him.
With Monty? That's fine.
Because I can't remember what all everybody else was thinking of doing when they got there, but I figure I'll get there real, close to late at night, and I'm gonna do some carousing and partying, hanging out. But ultimately, end of night, before going to bed, I want to spend some time, and maybe this happens while carousing too, going out and partying. trying to like isolate my mind as much as I can. I don't know if I need to do some like training sessions, kind of like from Harry Potter, where you had Snape like trying to invade his mind and stuff. Because Anne thinks it's all well and good that we can share our memories, but there's certain things he doesn't want them to know about, and he feels like, considering the path that we're on, there's probably going to be more of these fruits that we come across in the future. If there's, we were in a thin space most likely, so there may be more of them coming up.
Yeah. Okay. And you don't want everyone to just like poke around in your head, so you want to keep some things private.
Yeah, so if someone tries to like, break into my mind and steal some, some memories or see what I'm thinking about, I have some kind of protection against that.
Okay. Nice. What I'm going to do is, like, as you guys start leveling up, you'll like, it won't just be like telepathy,
Right.
It'll be a little, I'll give you some more things that you can do, and like, like you said, you want to block certain things.
Right, because it sounds like what Robert and Xardaar are focusing on is like improving the skill, making it more powerful, and Anne sees it more as a threat. Like, it's nice and it can be useful, but it is a open door. You're leaving your door unlocked, essentially, and being a rogue, that's not kosher with him.
Yeah, right.
So he wants to tame it. He doesn't want to let it grow and continue to become more powerful out of control. He wants to tame it and make it, 100% under his control before he starts exploring greater abilities.
Okay, I like that. Nice. I mean, it makes sense being a rogue and all, too. If someone gets into your mind, there's like a back door into everyone else's, too.
Right.
Except for Pi.
So, yeah, Pi's pretty much safe.
Yeah.
But, cool. So, yeah, that's basically it for me. Do I think... Hang on. Let me check something. Oh, why do I have to scroll that far? There we go. All right, so do you have Xanathar's Guide to Everything?
On D&D Beyond?
Yes.
I should.
All right, so I want to do the carousing that's in that. So my evening out on the town is going to get a little wild.
Okay.
So essentially the way this works is I make a roll, and whatever my total is, I think I add something based on it. So carousing is default downtime activity for characters between adventures. Covers a work week of fine food. Oh, it's for a work week, so it's not a single night. Character can attempt to carouse among lower, middle, upper class folk. Character can carouse the lower for a cost of 10 gold, middle class for 50, and upper class for 250 for the work week, and access the local nobility. So this would be cool if we get like a week of time in the future, because the ultimate result of it is you're either going to make friends, make enemies, or end up in jail. There's a lot of different things that you can do out of it, but the roll tables are pretty nice. So like lower class carousing, if I roll a 6, surprise, you're married. I get drunk going out and partying so hard, I end up finding some lady and we get married today. So yeah, there's some interesting stuff. I actually had one guy roll on this one time, and he woke up married to a goat.
Oh my god. That's funny.
Yeah, definitely something that we could play around with in the future.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm just gonna party and then do my mental training at the
Nice.
end of the night.
All right.
That's it for me.
And Xardaar said that he wanted a room with Robert, so they have a room together, and so I guess you're going to be rooming with Pi.
Our lawful boy with our chaotic neutral boy.
I think he's like lawful neutral. I don't think he's lawful good, but I mean, definitely lawful.
Yeah. And, you know, I might be true neutral. The way I play my character definitely feels more true neutral than chaotic neutral. But, you know, I do bad things. You know, I steal stuff, so I can't necessarily be considered good. But, you know, I'm not going to go out and murder people and stuff like that. It's not my gig.
Just like...
I fall in a weird spot on that spectrum.
Like some light shoplifting.
Yeah, basically. You know, I got to get by.
Yeah. Not like a PS4, but definitely like a pack of gum.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness. All right, man. Well, me and Taylor are going to run to the store, pick up some food for the week, but I'll hit you up when we're done. We can hang out a little bit.
Sounds good, man. I'll see you.
All right, buddy.
Bye.
Okay. So you make your way to... so after you see the big Church of Syrian in this little religious center here, I'd say the next top 3 buildings that you see, you definitely see a Church of Morden. You see a church for Marjorie, which if you that was a church that got taken over by Syrian in Fawnhill.
Church of, how do you spell Marjorie?
Majere.
Okay.
And then you see another church, and you can't quite tell what it is, but you see its symbolism is a bird.
Church with a bird symbol. Can I like roll religion to see if I know what it is, or is this gonna be? I just wouldn't know it.
No, absolutely, you can definitely do that.
I think it's a +3. That sounds right. I know that was
right.
I think that's Pi's as well.
I think it's a religion check, and I think you have high wisdom, or it's a wisdom check.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20? Okay.
Yeah.
So I'd say like you're pretty familiar with religion and whatnot, being a cleric. You understand that this is the Church of the Raven Queen.
The Raven Cult?
The Raven Queen.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is that in any relation to Cooler's thing? Hasn't he called her the Raven Queen or whatever?
I don't know if he has or not. I know the bird that like follows him around is a raven.
Yeah, well, Pi is suspicious. He thinks that's what it is.
I mean, that's a fair assumption to make. I mean, you're making it's like, oh, that's a raven. There's a raven that follows him around.
Does Pi know anything about the Church of the Raven Queen? Like if it's good, bad, whatever?
So the Raven Queen is kind of neutral. She's kind of like she's kind of like Hades. Like when you die, she's in charge of what happens to your soul.
Ooh, nice. Pi doesn't have a soul.
Yeah. So people want to
no strings on me.
They think that like if they worship her whenever they die and you know they're judged by her, she'll look at them more favorably.
Okay. It's a fair assumption. What's that?
I don't know. I think I was gonna say something. So like normally she's not like a type of deity that like looks for followers, but you know, in this case it kind of because there's the whole thing where like the more followers a certain religion has, the more influence that God will have. So because of this, she's starting to kind of like see a rise in kind of power. You know, like, oh shoot, this is a person that's going to judge me once I'm dead. Now I will say it is mostly humans that follow the Raven Queen, because they have such a short lifespan that
Yeah.
the afterlife for them is significantly longer. But
All right.
you do see like a few other races in there as well.
Well, I am gonna head to the Temple of Moradin.
All right. So you go there. One thing that you immediately notice for this temple that you're at, the architecture is the best out of all of them.
Of course it is. It's Moradin.
Of course, it's not. It may not be the biggest, but you have a feeling that because Moradin is mostly a dwarvish kind of deity, that even though it's not the biggest, it is bigger for dwarves.
It's got it where it counts.
Exactly. So you walk in and it's beautiful. The architecture is on point. It's very well done. It's mostly marble. You do see a lot of steel and metal accents throughout.
Nice.
It's a very open space, and you see the symbol of Moradin kind of prominent everywhere. And right now, because it's late afternoon, you don't really see a lot of people there. So you do see...
Are there...
Go ahead.
I was going to ask if there were... I don't think there's any specific times of worship for Moradin. I was going to ask if there are any that you were thinking. Like if there should be people here.
Evil, you said?
No, if there should be people here. Like if now is a prominent time of worship for Moradin. I don't know.
I think that, because dwarves are kind of like workers, they would want to like get to their work day.
All right.
So I'll let you choose. It'll be either in the morning, like before the workday starts, or kind of in the evening when the workday ends. What do you think would
Evening
make the
makes
most?
sense.
Evening?
We've been doing shit.
Okay. So it's still kind of the afternoonish. Not a whole lot of people have gotten there yet, but you do see some people kind of chilling. You see like some youths probably hanging out for a youth group.
Youths. These youths. I will. Well, that's not the only thing I'm going to do, but I am going to go talk to them. I'll do that now, I guess. Oh no, they're already here. They're already all about Moradin. I'm not going to convert them. Never mind.
You did your job.
Yeah, I did it. Oh, are any of them from the town square where I was telling off that Cleric of Syrian?
Not as far as you can tell.
All right. In that case, I'm going to look for like a clergyman or something.
Okay, so you walk towards the kind of the pew area of the church, and you do see what seems to be like a high priest at the very end of this walkway here. And he is just one thing that you notice. You know how like a preacher would have like a stand that they stand behind?
Yeah.
Theirs is a giant anvil.
So cool.
And you see that he has a hammer. Not a big hammer, a relatively small, like, one-handed hammer.
Kind of like a gavel?
Yeah, kind of like a gavel. And as he's kind of, you hear him mumble as if he's like practicing his sermon or whatever. And every now and then he strikes the anvil with the hammer, and you see sparks fly off.
Oh, I fucking love it.
So you imagine there's like some flint and steel going on in there. Some nice effects.
So is he in the middle of like a sermon then?
No, he's kind of like rehearsing in his mind.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like an actor rehearsing their roles.
All right, I will make sure. I'm sure it's already pretty visible, but I'll make sure that my symbol of Moradin is like extra visible, and I got my shield with the Moradin symbol on it, like proudly displayed, and I'll approach him, and I guess I'll clear my throat and just try to get his attention.
Oh, yes, sir. Oh, hey, how are you? How can I help you, son?
Hi, my name's Pi. I'm a cleric of Moradin. I don't want to do the voice right now, so I'm not going to do it.
As soon as you say that, he like perks up and he's like, "Oh, well, how can I help you?"
I'm looking for some sort of way to help spread the word of Moradin. I'm pretty good at getting kids to really see the light. Their minds are more easy to mold and show them the right path. But I'm looking for maybe a way to help convert more people, or a larger variety of people, adults perhaps, or maybe if you just know some techniques that can help me, or if there's any sort of maybe relics around here that I could maybe borrow or rent or whatever that could help me.
Well, one thing I recommend, we are pretty popular, one of the big three, but Syrian seems to be throwing off the balance. I've seen a lot of dwarves in the morning time go to the church there instead of going to work, coming here in the afternoon.
Knowing that I'm in a holy place, I still say, fuck Syrian.
Oh, yes, we do not like that man, or that deity. He says, some of our dwarves have left Moradin in favor of Syrian for some reason. Despite all the teachings of Moradin, I don't know what Syrian has to offer that Moradin cannot.
Shit, I didn't write down the name of the dwarf in Fawn Hill.
Oh, I got it. In Fawn Hill, I think it was, I want to say like Jasper or something.
That sounds right. Jasper.
Jesper.
Fawn Hill, dwarf douche. Okay. And I'll tell him about my run-in with Jesper. Yeah, I met a man in Fawn Hill. His name is Jesper. He was defected to Syrian as well. He's preaching his praises, even though I told him about my findings that Syrian is an evil deity.
Oh yes, Jesper. He used to be a member of this congregation.
Fuck Jesper.
Yes, we do not look favorably on those who have left us, as Moradin does on the Duergar. And you recall how Duergar are dwarves that turned evil, and how Moradin has no tolerance for evil whatsoever. That he cast them out and cursed them to live underground.
Is that part of the lore?
Yep.
I don't remember. I mean, it's cool as hell, but
yeah, Duergar are the drow versions of elves.
Oh, that's cool, dude.
Yeah, and most dwarves are pretty lawful. Duergar, they're chaotic because they were cast out from Mordor.
Huh. Would I have ever met one of them? Do you think, or no?
I don't think you've
Probably not.
ever been underground because they live in the Underdark.
Okay, I haven't been that far. I've been in mines, but I haven't been in the Underdark.
Yeah, so maybe not. But yeah, it's part of the lore. And he goes, I just have to ask you, what are you? I don't think I've ever seen a creature such as yourself.
I'm a variant of Warforged. I was created by the dwarves in Dwarfside in Moradin's image. And I'm a cleric of the Forge, spreading Moradin's word and grace.
And he seems very shocked but surprised and pleased about this. He goes, it's very interesting because do you remember how dwarves were made?
I do, by Moradin, the Allmaker, the Soul Forger.
Oh, I'm so happy you said that. He recalls the story of Moradin. He made clay and metal and breathed life into it to make the dwarves, or clay, metal, and stone and all that. And he says, well, you seem like you're made out of stone and metal as well, and it seems like he breathed life into you.
I would say so.
Well, I would say that if you really want to help the children here, I think most dwarves, they just grow up naturally inclined towards Moradin. But I feel as though taking those that have turned towards Syrian and turning them back towards the light would be your best idea forward.
And that's the trouble I've had. It's been very difficult to convince people of Tyrion's evil aptitude, if that's the word.
I don't know much about him. All I know is that the high-ranking members of the church are very young, very charismatic people who seem as though they don't do any wrong, and they started off very misfortuned, and then after turning towards Syrian, they actually did have a lot of fortunate events in their lives.
So what you're saying is maybe I need to make an unfortunate accident happen for these people.
he he goes, well, as long as if you remain lawful throughout, you don't want the teachings of Moradin.
No, I don't. How would you try to convince those who have left Moradin for douche god?
I would show them that everything has a price. If things are suddenly going well for you, it means good has been taken away from somewhere else. Everything must remain balanced. And if all of a sudden things turn around for you, then things also turned around for someone else.
I think I can use that to tell them how he's evil. I think I can work with that. Is there anything that, aside obviously from new converts and people being reconverted, anything that the temple needs doing?
The temple, needs to be done in the temple?
Well, not in the temple. If there's, an adventure I can go on, a quest that we can maybe get to as a group later. If there's something in the church, that's fine. Just trying to show them that I'm there to help.
He asks you, he says, I do appreciate that. We do have a forge in Neverwinter, which is the town just north of Water.
I played that game.
Knights of Neverwinter Nights?
No, I played the online one.
Which one?
The online Neverwinter game.
Oh, okay.
Have you played it? It's actually really good.
The last one I played was called Neverwinter Nights, and it was more of like a MMO.
Yeah, that's what this one is. I wonder if maybe Neverwinter Nights, and Nights was just the subtitle at the time, because the subtitle changes every time they have a new expansion.
Oh. Well, I didn't know. I played it when I was in middle school. It's
no, I don't think
the same Neverwinter from D&D.
Yeah, it's the D&D Neverwinter. It's a D&D MMO, but it's not that one, because this one you can play on PS4. So.
Well, maybe it's an update. I don't know, man.
I would think it's the next version of it, yeah. Either way, telephone.
Yeah.
But so there's a forge in Neverwinter. Let me write this down in the actual notes.
He tells you, we have a dwarven brother there who is one of the greatest forgers on the world.
What's his name?
His name is Stan.
Stan!
Yeah, just STAN.
Man by a dwarf named Dan. Okay.
Well, he asked me to bless these for him so that he could use it in one of his creations. And he holds out a just a big red stone. And he says, by itself, it's useless, but in the way that he can craft, he can turn this into something very dangerous.
Can I tell what it is? Is it a ruby or?
It's a red stone, probably a ruby. And based on your forging knowledge, I'll just let you know this without rolling. It looks like the type of magical stone that you would forge into a weapon to give it some kind of magical property. And usually the colors kind of align to what it is. You reckon that with this red stone, it has something to do with fire.
Nice. Does he have a spare?
He says he has a much smaller. He gives you two. One is much bigger, and he gives you a second one that's much smaller compared to that one. It's about the quarter of the size. Like this one is about the size of. What can I compare it to? I don't have anything small and round.
Well, I can't see you. I can't see you, so I don't know what you'd be holding anyway.
Imagine like a tangerine.
Oh shit!
And that one. Imagine one about that size. That's the big one. And then you do a smaller one that's
like a D20.
Yeah, about the size of a D20. There you go. That's good. Perfect. He says, even with dwarves, they have to be blessed in the light of Moradin first, so I help him out with doing a little bit of that.
And you need them delivered to him then?
Yes, if you ever find your way in Neverwinter.
He needs both of these?
Well, he only asked me for the big one. This is the one I've been just cultivating on my own.
Was it meant as a gift for him, or would you be comfortable putting that in the hands of one of Moradin's Sonalier to spread his word?
Well, he only needs the big one. It's kind of, a job. But I reckon you can keep the smaller one, do what you will with it.
Awesome. So what is it? Or I guess I could ask him, what exactly do these do then? The small one in particular.
Well, it depends on what you forge it into, whether you put it in a knife or a shield or something like that.
How about a hammer?
A hammer? If you put it in a hammer, I'll let you do an additional 1d4
fire damage?
Yes.
Fuck yeah. And if I were to, just out of curiosity, if I were to put it into a shield or armor, what would it do?
I wouldn't want to give you resistance because this is too small a piece to do that. I would say
I'm also going to get that naturally eventually, so.
Yeah. I would say if you took fire damage, you'd be able to reduce it by a d4.
Yeah, I'll put it in a hammer. Cool.
But I will make you roll for it.
Yeah, I'll have to roll the d4 every time, yeah.
No, don't you have smith tools?
Oh yeah, I'm proficient in smithing. I've got smith's tools, but I can also, as it's my class feature that I can channel divinity to just make it. Actually, I guess it depends how much the gem is worth. If it's over 100, then I'll have to do it by hand.
I don't know. I guess I would have to look at the prices of rubies.
I'll just do it by hand. It's funner.
Yeah. Yeah, so what I will have you do, I think your proficiency at level 4 is +3. So roll a d20 +3, but before you roll, let me tell you what happens. If you roll a 1 through 5, the gem breaks.
No.
Because you already got that +3. Let's say you roll a 1 through 8, the gem breaks.
Damn.
You roll a 9 through 15.
It's a +2 proficiency.
Oh, really? It's only +2?
Yeah.
All right, then.
Unless having
you level
smith.
up to level 4?
Yeah, I'm level 4.
Oh, wow. It's only +2? I thought it was more.
Unless I can, could I add a different modifier to it, like my religion, since I'm doing it for Moradin or something?
I think you also add your wisdom bonus to it as well. So if you're +3, I think you do your proficiency plus your wisdom bonus.
Oh, okay. All right, well, never mind. Go on. Sorry.
So you roll a 1 through 8, it breaks. You roll a 9 through... You roll a 9 up, your weapon now does an additional 1d4 fire damage. If you roll a nat 20, I'll let your weapon do 1d6 fire damage. No, if you're rolling, I take it back. You roll a nat 20, it does an extra 1d8 fire damage.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
All right. I do have a point of inspiration laying. No, I used that, didn't I?
No, I just gave it to you.
So I can use that to re-roll if I don't get a 20, right?
Yes.
All right. Ooh, that's nice. That's an unnatural 25.
So you rolled a 19?
17, because my wisdom modifier is 5.
Damn, nice.
So close. I rolled an 8, but if it didn't hit my notebook, it would have been a 20. It was one roll away.
Oh, man.
Like, tick of the die away. That's all right, though. I'm happy with an extra d4. That's pretty powerful.
Yeah, so while you're working later on, you can, merge this into your weapon as you're, like, smithing it. And now every time you do a physical attack, you do an extra 1d4 fire damage.
Dope. Would I be able to... Oh, no, I'm not going to unsocket it. I'm just going to continue improving on my weapon. I think that works flavor-wise for him.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Oh, and before I left, I meant to ask the priest something.
Yeah.
Wanted to... So, you said you've been blessing these gems, right?
Aye.
I
Mordin.
I don't know how to do that, and I'd really like to be able to do that. Not only to, imbue properties into things, but there was an altar to Syrian back in Fawn Hill, and it was just pure evil emanating off of it. And myself and my Paladin friend Cooler, we tried to cleanse it, and we weren't able to do it. I thought maybe I could try to bless it in the name of Moradin, but I don't know how to do that. Would you be able to show me? Or even just a way to fix the altar, even if it's like a one-shot little relic that I can use to clean it? Because I don't want that sitting there and spreading the evil back through.
He tells you there's power in the symbols. The symbol represents so much than just an image. And sometimes no amount of light is enough to purge the darkness. I believe that in order to bless something in the power of Moradin, you just have to pray upon it in Moradin's name. And that's what I've been doing with this stone here. I pray upon it, I carry it with me while I'm doing my sermons, and I believe in that way it's imbued with the power of Moradin.
So I would need to take one of my many Moradin symbols and open up my bag and show them like the 400 Moradin symbols I have now. Again, they're just for flavor. I'm assuming they're worth like 1 copper, even though that's not even a currency.
I would say mechanics-wise, if you wanted to imbue something with Moradin's power, I would say just roll like a religion check and add roll a religion check.
All right, because what I was figuring was I take these and I take an audience with me to the altar and I perform a small sermon praising Moradin in Moradin's name and imbue this into the altar with my channel divinity.
Oh, okay, I see what you're doing. The altar back in Fawn Hill?
Yeah, I'd like to do it. Obviously doesn't have to be roleplayed, but just I do want to clean it.
Okay, well, you will eventually go back to Fawn Hill, so I think that'd be a good thing to do.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Nice. Anything else you want to do?
I don't think there's any armor or weapons that I can get that are going to be better than what I've got. The only thing is I'm not totally tied to the shield. It's just a shield. But I don't think that a +1 shield, I don't know if you're ready to let me even find one of those or buy one.
No, not yet, but you will get some good gear later.
That's cool. In that case, I think that's all I wanted to do.
Okay. So,
I was going to save my really overhyped pun for the game.
Well, we can say, off camera, you go back to the inn. You spend about an hour or so there. And not the inn, the bar that is also an inn, the Salty Seaman. And since you don't have to rest, I'm sure. How do you spend the rest of your night? Or do you just go to your room and you just start smithing things?
Well, actually, I should have asked the priest if he had a forge that I could have access to. I didn't think to do that until just now.
Um,
Because it would make sense, possibly, if you wanted it to.
he tells you that he does not like have a personal forge. He's like you look at
You don't think he'd have one.
and you notice that like it doesn't have a whole lot of calluses or anything in there. His hands are pretty clean. He's not more like a worker type. But he does tell you like he has this giant anvil right here that he uses for dramatic effect that he strikes with his gavel during his sermons, so like cause a little spark here and there. But he does tell you that there is a blacksmith. His name is Al, and he's in between here and the Salty Seaman. He's very close to it as well.
We're in Waterdeep, right?
Yes.
All right, and he would give me access to his forge as a cleric of Moradin.
If you ask kindly, I'm sure he will.
All right, and I will also ask, would you mind? There's something about forging it right here in Moradin's place of power in this city that would mean a lot to me. Would you mind if I tried something with the altar there? If it doesn't work, I can mend it as a cantrip.
But let's go right ahead.
Okay. In that case, I'm going to use my last spell slot.
All right.
And I'm going to cast Heat Metal on the anvil. Or I guess not on the anvil, on the pommel of my hammer. Because I guess that's what I'd actually be forging.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And I will forge the gem into the hammer right on the anvil there in front of Moradin. And he can pray over it if he wants. It can just be cool.
Okay, that's really cool. I like that. Just for fun, give me a religion roll.
Do I add my wisdom modifier again or no?
I think that's what you add with your religion check. Let me just double check.
Because religion on here is listed. Oh, it's listed under intelligence.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's odd.
Well, either way, I still would have made my roll before. Because I rolled a 17, so that was
nice.
My modifier. So that roll was fine, but it's got religion under intelligence, which I only have a +1 to. So if I use would I use my religion modifier and my intelligence modifier, or just? Because if I just add intelligence to my proficiency, then it's equal to my religion modifier as it would be. But
no, I think you're proficient in religion, which is why you got that +1, +2. So
yeah,
+3 total. I mean, either way, you got a dirty 20, right?
That was
17.
That was for something else, but I got a 25 when I rolled for that, so it's fine.
Okay.
Anyway, so I'll just roll religion. Cool.
Yeah, we'll just add the +3 to it.
Natural 20 +3.
Are you serious?
Dead serious, dude.
Okay, nat 20. All right.
Why didn't this work for my hammer, or is that what this is?
So you made a roll for smithing it. Now you're making another roll just to feel the presence of Moradin as you're smithing this.
Fuck yeah.
Let's see. As you do this, what happens? It's like those memes of like Dragon Ball Z when Gohan's doing the Kamehameha wave, but Goku's right behind him dead doing it too.
That's what I was imagining. Like Pi goes to smash the pommel, and as he's going down, he starts to slip, but he feels Moradin's hand come in and redirect it to the right spot.
Yeah, that's exactly what it's like. And you're like, Moradin he's 20 feet tall.
Fuck yeah.
You see, same kind of body build as a dwarf, but you feel God in this church tonight. Oh, in this, what's the thing in the office? I feel God in this Chili's tonight.
Chili's tonight.
Yeah, that's how you feel.
Moradin, take the wheel.
I'm gonna say that because that was such a good roll, I'm gonna give you inspiration again.
Oh hell yeah! In that case, can I re-roll again to try to make the smithing one a 20? No, I'll save it. I already did one.
as you do it, like every time you like smack your hammer on the anvil, there's just like the loudest crackling going on. And
I really wish that Forged Clerics got Fireball.
dude, I mean, it makes sense.
They might, but I don't think they get it.
Yeah.
That's right.
All right, man. Anything else you want to do in here?
I don't necessarily have to do this part in here, but there is one other thing I want to make. But it doesn't have to be for right now, because it's not for a while that I'll get the ability to where this would be useful.
So wait, so what is it?
I want to make something because there's an ability I'll get down the road that will make it useful. Basically, when I get animate objects, I can animate a swarm of objects, and that swarm can be 10 daggers. So I wanted to make a brace of 10 daggers that goes across my back. So then when I'm ready, I just like flex, and these daggers shoot out.
Oh man, that's so cool. All right.
I can just do that as we go. Like, it's not a big deal.
I think you might be able to like buy some daggers too if you want.
Oh, I can make them. They're
Okay.
because they're under 100 gold. I figured it would be the actual like bandolier or whatever, the brace of daggers that I'd have to make to wear on my back.
All right. I like it. All right, so we'll wrap this up by you heading to the bar. Do you want to like spend some time like in the actual bar, or do you want to go straight to your room and start smithing?
Well, I just did the smithing, didn't I?
Oh, I'm sorry, not smithing, but like the making the armors and weapon things.
Oh, that's right. I got to do that. Yeah, I'll head up. I've done enough carousing for today. And I will imbue each piece of gear I make for them with one of my Moradin symbols.
Nice.
And I'll pray over it, so maybe they'll get like something out of it. I don't know.
I like it, man. I like watched some videos on Moradin a few hours ago, just so I'm like, ready for this. Like, shoot, what do I know about Moradin besides dwarves?
Besides, he's cool as shit.
Yeah. I got like I'm almost like into their whole pantheon of dwarven deities.
There's a skill or a feat maybe for Forged Cleric, and it's called like Soul Forge or something like that, or Soul Forger, which I thought was really cool because that's what Moradin is called.
Yeah, right. When they started going like over all his names, I'm like, that's pretty cool, man.
It's called the Allfather. It's like, that's awesome,
right? God, and what else? There's one other thing about him. Oh yeah, he's a I didn't like realize this, but there's like greater deities and then lesser deities and like, intermediate deities, blah blah blah. Morgan's a greater deity, so he's not even like allowed on the material plane.
Oh, well, shit. What's gonna happen when I call him with this? No, he'll probably just send down a. I think there's avatars of Moradin. There's a thing.
Yeah, there was the people that were describing it were talking about like a scene where Superman was fighting Darkseid, and like he was getting his butt kicked by Darkseid, and then all of a sudden like he just got better and started beating him up. And Superman said like, "Yeah, I live. It's like every.
I live in a cardboard world."
Yes,
that's from the Justice League Unlimited series. It's so fucking cool when he just annihilates him.
And that's it. Yeah, that's how he described, Moradin being on the material plane. Like, oh, okay, I got you. Okay. All right, man. And then let's see. You spend the rest of the night kind of smithing and doing your 4-hour rest safety mode thing. And when we start our session will be when you guys all wake up. And I think you roomed with Anne because Xardaar and Robert wanted to do something.
Oh, cool. I was looking at Moradin while we were talking about this, and I have Artisan's Blessing for Channel Divinity from Forged Cleric, but I didn't realize that Moradin comes with his own Channel Divinities.
Oh.
So I guess there's additional ones that I would get for being a Cleric of Moradin.
Oh, nice.
One of them is called Knowledge of the Ages. Only clerics. Wait, what? Okay, only clerics can invoke this power. It gives you the knowledge of doing or using something for 10 minutes. During this time, you act like you're effectively trained in the use of the tool or the action, which is very cool. And the other one is read thoughts.
Oh.
Uses power, Cleric can attempt to gain access to the surface thoughts of a creature within 60 feet. Similar to detect thoughts, a successful Cleric then commands the creature. What? Commands the creature for up to a minute?
Ooh, that's pretty cool.
Effectively putting the creature under the effects of a suggestion spell. Afterwards, the creature may become immune to attempts from the same person for the next day. As the Cleric becomes more powerful, this becomes more difficult to resist. Damn. Holy shit. I don't know if you want to allow that, so this is just on the Moradin wiki, but that's cool.
Well, they talked about like the stats for Moradin, and there's no like official stats for him in 5e, so they were looking at like 2nd edition and like 3.5. And Moradin is immune from any from damage from a weapon that is forged. So that's just like immune to all weapons.
Just about, unless you like just pick up a big log.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Like, what the heck? All right, man. Well, that's good. I'll see you in a few hours at 7. And if you need to step out for a few minutes at 8, totally fine.
Yeah, we're trying to get rid of some stuff before we move, and we got someone coming by at 8 to pick some stuff up, that's all.
I gotcha. Do you want me to, like, worst case scenario, control your character if I have to?
It should be like 5 minutes. We're just running some clothes.
Oh, I gotcha. Cool.
Cool. All right. Well, I'll let you get to planning and do whatever you got to do.
All right, man. I'll see you then.
See you. Bye.